Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Pageant Mac Philippines live sessions. And of course, good afternoon or good day to the rest of the world. So, yours truly, once again, Francois is your pageant correspondent. And we are live simultaneously on our Facebook page and, of course, on our YouTube channel. Now, guys, if you are new to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe and click the bell notification and of course, like and follow our Facebook page for more pageant updates. We are also on Instagram and on TikTok, so please do follow us on all our social media platforms. And if you have any questions later for our guests, yes, you heard it right, guys, guests. We have not only one guest for tonight, but we have more than one than you expected. All right. So if you have any questions later for our guests for tonight, don't hesitate to drop your questions down below at the comment section. Once again, guys, this episode is being brought to us by Celebrity, a celebration of tea of a lifetime. All right, so we are back, and I believe that you are all excited to meet our guests. There you go, guests, guys. All right, so just like what I have mentioned earlier, we have three guests for tonight, and they are Miss World Philippines 2021 candidates from the newest beauty camp. Whom I won't have so much intro for them, but allow me to please, or help me rather, to welcome our guests with virtual applause. Applause. Yun. With a virtual applause, the flag bearers of the House of Crowns, Kyle Celine Dorado, nawala siya.
Hi!
Hello, ayun, biglang Shades from Pampanga. Ulitin ko, sige. Sige, tatanggalin
Okay.
ko ulit. Ayun. The flag bearers of the House of Crowns, Kyle Celine Dorado from Pampanga. Ayun, take two yun, guys. Ha? Ganun ba nangyayari sa sa newsroom?
Naku, if live setting, syempre, di
May
pwede.
pangyayari. Ganun. And of course, we have someone from Quezon City, Shannon Manzano. Hello. Wala siyang boses. There
Hi!
you
Thank you for
go.
that.
Ayun. Iba talaga kapag live. And finally, we have one far from the north. Not really far, guys. Joke lang yung too much far. She's from Morong, Bataan. Andrea Solangi. There you go.
Hello! Good
Oh my
evening!
God. Good evening, everyone. Three beautiful girls with me tonight. Ano pa bang gagawin ko? Pang-apat na ako. Charot!
Yeah.
Okay, kumusta girls?
Doing fine. Doing good naman po. Kayo po?
Good
I'm
Samsa.
doing very well as I'm doing very well. Parang generic naman yung doing good. Ano ba yan?
No, I hope everyone's really coping
Yeah.
up to what is happening, especially that
Mhm.
We're
heightened
back to
fever.
ECQ.
Yun nga, nakakatakot, no? So,
Mm.
nakakatakot na
Stay safe,
naman.
everyone. That's all I have to say.
It's just sad na parang may parang take two daw po from last year.
Exactly. Yun yung parang, yun actually yung nakakatakot doon. Yung take two ng last year.
Pero
Anyways,
praying pa rin na sana wag naman, 'di ba?
so
Kahit
nasaan
pa
ka
paano
ngayon?
makakalimutan.
Nasaan ka ngayon, Kyle?
After like July 23, when it was announced that we will be moving the coronation night, I immediately got home to my hometown in Pampanga, which is Mabalacat City po. So yes, I am home and I so miss the fresh air, and living the province life is very different from like being in the city, and I feel
That's
like
right.
it's so busy in Manila actually than it is here, where it's just laid back here in Pampanga.
That's right.
I'm so busy.
You can't really feel that that you are experiencing this kind of quarantine.
Yeah.
Mm. Especially with a lot of trees everywhere.
Yeah. And how about you, Andrea? So far, nasaan ka ngayon?
Umuwi rin po ako ng Bataan for the meantime.
Mhm.
Pero babalik right before or
Gosh, girls, before kayo bumalik dito, that's gonna be
ECQ.
next week. Mag-ECQ. Friday, that's gonna be August
kailangan
6th. Yeah,
public
so before August 6th, nandito dapat kayo. Kasi kung hindi, wala na.
para lockdown na naman.
Shannon, where are you now?
Quezon City. Pero right now po, nasa kay na Tito Eden po ako.
Sa
Kakatapos lang ng
Mandaluyong.
training namin, yes.
Regards po sa kanila. Tito Edwin, Tito Dave, regards. And happy birthday, Jello.
Jello, happy birthday daw.
Hello.
Here. Happy birthday
Ayun.
daw, sabi ni Sir Francois.
Hello po.
Hi, hello, happy birthday to you, di ba?
Hi,
Happy birthday.
Jello!
Hello, thank you po. Hi, Ate
You're
Andrea.
welcome.
Belated happy birthday!
Thank you. See you soon.
Please, Angelo.
Ayun. All right, so we have some viewers right now. Ano daw, we thank you, very pregnant a coming. I'm sorry, hindi ko po maintindihan. I'm sorry po, I can't remember Miss Piav's cat, Miss Rabia. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Sorry po, ayan. Are you pregnant, Miss Piav's cat? Congratulations if you do. Yan. Hi, Sir Kent Leo. Yan. Mga suki namin to, si Kent Leo. Okay, si Sir
Hello
Kent.
po.
And hello, Mars Anderson. I miss ka. Oh, taga Bataan. Mhm. Matutuloy po ba ang coronation night sa August 8? Oh, Sir Limuel, thank you. I can't answer that as of yet. Mhm. All
We'll see.
right. Kahit kayo girls, masasagot niyo 'yon.
Not as of the moment po.
As
Mhm.
of the moment, no. Let's wait for the announcement po.
We'll see.
Official
Mhm.
announcement from the organization.
Okay. And hello to the most beautiful queen of Mabalacat, Kyle. Oh my God.
I love you.
Alright. Hello, Joel. Ang dami na naman nating mga ano ngayon. Post-coronation. Sen. Hi.
Hi, Ate Sen! Oh my God, I love post-coronation.
Yes.
Hi!
Ayan. Hello, Tito Dave. Thank you so
Hello!
much,
Hi,
Tito
Tito!
Dave. Tito Dave, hindi pa kami nagsisimula nito. Ang dami na naming chikating. Anyways, so before we go further dito sa mga pa shout out, Um, can you guys introduce yourselves? Since I was not able to introduce you one by one a while ago, except for your names and your places, of course. So, can you just tell us or share us something very interesting facts about yourselves? All right, so let's start with the youngest.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Shannon.
Siyempre,
Um,
siyempre Shannon, yung ako din ang ano pinakabata sa amin. So, yeah.
lagi po tayong nauuna.
Yeah.
Okay po. Fun facts about me. Well, I served the church since I was 7. I am a lector commentator. I am a debater at our school, and I'm a consistent class president and also a president of a lot of school clubs. Since before pageant world, I was just a simple geek student at school.
Mhm. Alright.
It
So
was just school and me before.
meron tayong geek dito. Oh my God. So sana makarelate ako sa mga geek. Alright. So who's next? Who's the second youngest?
Second young.
Second youngest. Yeah.
Ako kasi talaga yung bunso.
Mhm.
Bunso po sa akin. Ako talaga.
Yes, hello Joey. Thank you so much, Joey. Sana ma-meet ko kayo, Joey, ha?
Princess Juliet.
Hi, Ruel. Yeah. All right, let's go for Andrea. Ayan. Second youngest si Andrea.
Hello?
Yeah, second
No. Nagpapanggap lang. Hello everyone. Good evening. I'm Andrea Sulangi, or you can call me Andeng, just like what my friends do, just like Shannon does. I'm 25
Mhm.
years old from the town of Flames Blossoms and the home of Pawikan Festival, Morong Bataan. This is actually my fifth pageant and third national pageant. I'm currently working as a project coordinator in a telecommunications company that resides in Makati. I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Electronics Engineering from Makati Peninsula State University just last 2017.
Mhm.
So, alam na natin kung sino
bata.
pinakabunso.
Batang bata.
Diba? I also love to bake. I also love to write sometimes. Just
Uh-huh.
my pastime. Diba?
Ayan. Thank you so much, Andeng. O, di ba? Nakuha ko agad yung sinabi ni Jello, ha? All right. Yes, Kyle. So we have an engineer, right? Di ba? O, si Kyle naman. Mhm.
So, hi everyone. I am Kyle. You can also call me Casey because Kyle Celine.
Mhm.
And I am
Mhm.
19 years old, currently taking a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. And I am also a news correspondent and radio broadcaster at Net25 and Eagle News. And also, I really love writing and really love reading books. Like Shannon, I'm also a geek, I'm also a nerd, and consistently an officer of our class because I always wanted to lead even before back. Wherein, in fact, actually, one fun fact about me is that I always wanted to become the president of the Philippines when I was younger. So, ayun po, one fun fact about me.
Oh my God, napaka-achievers naman ng mga kausap ko ngayon. Oh my God, parang duduguin ako ata dito.
Ay,
Mm.
Di naman po yun
Pa-
po.
Kami
parang
lang
ako,
sigurado.
kaya nga, kayo lang yan eh, pero parang, paano naman ako? Ganon.
ah,
All right, so, Shannon, since you're the youngest, no, and at 17, how did you, or yeah, how did you cross over? How did you thought of joining pageantry?
well, I just learned that I will be joining Miss World Philippines last February 5, and I thought about it in just an hour.
Oh,
Well, I'm that type of person po kasi na I hate wasting chances. Like,
mhm,
every open door is a chance, and let's take it. Like, let's go to a door and let's cross paths and let's just enjoy
mhm,
every moment. para po walang
Mhm.
regret. So there's no what if I did it, what if. So it's
Mhm.
always like at least I've tried it.
Mhm.
So when Tito Dave messaged me that do you want to join MWP, I said,
Mhm.
can I do it? Can I join? Am I allowed? Because I was 16 at that time. And then
Mhm.
Tito said that, sure, why not? You can. You're 17, ganyan, ganyan. You're turning 17 na then. So I said yes. And here I am now, part of the final candidates or official candidates. And I'm enjoying every moment.
Hello, Tito Edwin. Yan si Tito Edwin.
Tito
Hi,
Tito
Edwin.
Edwin na ano
Tito.
ako ngayon ha. Natitense ako Tito Edwin sa mga girls
Great
mo.
parent.
Okay.
Ayun. So, meaning, is this your first time, Shannon, to join pageants?
Yes po,
Or,
it's my very first time. Like no school pageants, no barangay pageants, no municipality pageants, straight to the national pageant.
iba rin. Malasyam si Sup Sup ha. 'Di ba? Iba-iba rin. Okay. So, um, diyan ka na muna, Shannon, ha? Kasi tatlo kayo. So, si Kyle naman ngayon. Kyle, is this your first pageant?
This would be officially my first national pageant po. But pageants in
Mm-hmm.
general, I have joined like from barangay, and then I bagged the crown, and then from barangay, municipality, and then
Mm-mm.
from Miss Mabalacat City, I go for Miss Pampanga, and then now, I was also planning na lang po to focus on my studies and
Mm-mm.
well, to really focus on being an intern at 25 and stuff like that because it's something that I am really passionate about. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really into journalism since elementary. But
Mm-hmm.
when the opportunity knocked, like Shannon, I have really like think about it because I feel like this is really going to be a great platform for me.
Mm-hmm. So,
So that's why
go
technically,
ahead.
Paul, this is not my first pageant.
But you've completed your academic school.
Not yet po. I'm
Ah,
still incoming second year college in college.
okay.
Yes po.
So, there you
19 pa
go.
lang po ako. I
Why
look
not?
older.
Why not, 'di ba? Eh, syempre dahil ano, special ka, di pwedeng college na, 'di ba? Pwedeng why not? Pwedeng ano na, graduate na, 'di ba? Ang daming ganon.
Nagkaroon po ako ng
Mhm.
idea.
No, I didn't know that you were only 19. So, yon. Anyway, um, Andrea.
Mm.
Mm.
Hi.
So you mentioned a while back. You
Sorry,
mentioned
Miss
a while back
Rainila.
that you've been joining pageantries, di ba? And you
Yes,
said that
po.
this is already the fifth pageant or the fifth national pageant. Fifth pageant,
This is actually the third pala in
third
national
national
pageant, but
pageant.
fifth for
Mhm.
pageants from municipality, and then next to
Mm-mm.
provincial, and then the next is national, and then today to
Mm-mm.
I wasn't
So why
actually,
Miss World? Yeah.
to be honest, last February when Tito Dave told me or chatted me that
Mm-hmm.
he wants me to join Miss World again. Also, also just like Shannon and Kyle, I I just stepped back. Medyo nag-alanganin pa ako that time. I told Tito Dave, Tito, can I decide muna?
Mm-mm.
So, and then after I think 3 weeks or almost a month, I messaged him. So, Tito, paano ba? That's how I asked. Kasi during that time that I was deciding, I
Mm-hmm.
told myself that I was thinking, kaya ko pa ba to? Or kasi, it's, ano na eh, the pandemic hit na. So,
Mm-mm.
parang ilang buwan na rin tayong napahinga. And then,
Mm-mm.
babalik na naman tayo sa training. And I was telling myself that I have to focus more on my profession. So, by the time that I have to settle na. Pero, ayun nga, since na, since the opportunity hit me and okay, go, I decided to join na. Since this is just a once in a lifetime experience, then why not try it again?
Hmm. And Celine, why Miss World? So, kasi syempre maraming pageants ngayon, di ba? Marami tayong pageants
Mhm.
pala. So, we still have Miss Universe Philippines, to name a few, di ba? Binibining Pilipinas, Miss Philippines. So, why Miss World Philippines?
Personally, the vision of Miss World Philippines
Mhm.
organization with this Beauty with a Purpose really resonated with me personally because I am someone who really has this existential questions about myself and
Mhm.
that every time I wake up in the morning I'm always asking myself what is my purpose? What can
Mhm.
I do to be able to be helping other people? Because I honestly have a vision of being a philanthropist
Mhm.
the moment that I get to be stable or have a profession, so I can be able to give back to the community and have the capacity
Mhm.
to do so. So I thought when the opportunity knocked with Miss World, I
Mhm.
really feel like I can work well with the organization because we have the same vision, we have the same core. And I
Mhm.
feel like it's not all about being, being famous or being popular anymore. It's really just about the advocacies and the things that we're passionate about, that we're fighting for. And that's why I decided and fully had conviction about joining Miss World Philippines. So,
Mm, 'di ba? So, kasi nga 'di ba yung because the Miss World is also into beauty with a purpose talaga siya. So it's
mm,
really something into something about becoming philanthropist as well. Ayun.
that's
And what
something that
about
we
you?
do.
Yeah. What about you, Shannon? Why
Um,
Miss World?
well, cause why not po? Since Miss
Huh?
World has the youngest age limit, I believe
Requirement.
that me and Miss World are destined for each other, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that their core is beauty with a purpose, and I am a
Mm-hmm.
speaker, and knowing Miss World that they need a speaker, a person that
Mm-hmm.
can stand up for other people and use this platform for a better cause, for a bigger audience, like the social issues in this country to be resolved and be heard by some people that really needs attention about it. So I am that girl because since I was young po, I really
Mm-hmm.
love talking in behalf of other people. If other people are shy away or like not confident about themselves to talk about it, I am there for them.
Well, my question just for you once again. Ay, just for siyempre ikaw lang naman ang nasa ano, 'di ba? Nasa stream, 'di ba? So,
So,
my follow-up question actually on that is how could you convince the other people, how could you convince the people if you are only 17, because siyempre other people well, people would always think that who are you anyway for us to, to tell us that, to
Listen to.
advise something like, you haven't experienced that much yet. Parang para papunta ka pa lang, pabalik na kami. And who are you anyway? Mm-hmm.
yes, I would like to focus on that po, na age is just a number. My age
Mm-hmm.
will never be a hindrance for me in this pageant. I might not have any other pageant backgrounds. I might not join Binibining Pilipinas or Miss Universe like my other co-candidates, but I am Shannon S. Manzano and I listen to other people. Since I was young, I listen to other people's stories and they're in different ages. And by that, I learn from their experiences. I don't I might not experience what they have experienced, but I listen to what they have experienced and I learn from it. And as a person that was not painted like the perfect colors of the world by my parents, I know the reality of life. At a very young age, they told me that life is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Life will never be perfect. And that's how I learned that our world needs someone like me.
All right. So, whoo! Hindi pa tayo nagsisimula, guys, ha? Gayong tuno pa lang tayo, ha?
Warm up.
All right. So, what about you, Andrea? So, why did you choose Miss World Philippines eventually? Mm-hmm.
Well, just like what I have said, I was
Mm-hmm.
planning to earlier this year, but I see Build as a huge platform for us to pursue
Mm-hmm.
our personal advocacy I believe that with their influences, I know that with my purpose and my abilities and capabilities, I know that I can work for the organization. And with
Mm-mm.
their help, well, I can learn a lot of things. And with my advocacy, which is cancer awareness, I know that I can learn a lot of things from the organization. At the same time, I can support and manage to comply with the organization that I am supporting, which is the Thai Cancer Society. I decided to support this organization because last year two of my relatives sadly passed away with cancer. So of course, there ilang beses na rin tayo nakasali sa pageant. And we all know that
Mm-mm.
pageants are a good platform for us to pursue these kinds of opportunities. There's a huge platform for us to support local organizations and yun po, just to fulfill something. I am the kind of person kasi na mahilig ako sa sideline. So
Mm-mm.
just from my current work, full time work, I also work as a model if I
Mm-mm.
have time. So mahilig ako sa sideline. Parang this is a good opportunity for me to find my purpose na rin. Not literally find my purpose in life, pero find what you can do for the betterment of the society, and we have to unite as one country. So I think it's a
Mm-mm.
better opportunity for us to pursue this goal.
All right. So there you go. So two of you are already working, right? So Andrea and um Kyle. Both of you are already working, right? So Shannon, you aren't working, correct, Shannon? So you're
No
still.
po.
Mm-hmm. All
Or no,
right. So.
actually, ano na nga siya eh. Pwede na mag-work eh, kasi sobrang talino talaga.
Well, I would
Naman.
love to po actually na to work.
Mhm,
Like before the pandemic occurred, like
mhm,
fun fact lang.
mhm,
I was asking my mother because I'm that person who loves multitasking. Like,
mhm,
mommy, can I try summer jobs? Before the
mhm,
pandemic hit, and mommy was
mhm,
like, sure, why not? It's gonna be a training ground for you since you love to try new things naman. And then I said na, yes, 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 I'm gonna try to work na. And then the pandemic hit and it's like, okay, okay, maybe next time.
Maybe not the right
Okay.
time pa.
Mhm. So for that reason, Axter, from that note kasi, gusto ko lang humugot doon since two of you are already working. So basically, the two of you already can actually bring something in this world because you already have experience, particularly in jobs and pageant wise, you also have. Now, what are your takeaway from being a pageant candidate or pageant contestant, ganyan, or experience in pageantry, and of course, as working in a company or as an employee. So let's start with Kyle.
I really have learned versatility in the hard way
Mm-hmm.
because I was studying. I am also a scholar, so I
Mm-hmm.
had grades to really maintain. And while I'm doing that, I'm also joining pageants. And while I'm doing that, I'm also working at the same time. So I really feel like you would need to have the abilities to multitask, and
Mm-hmm.
especially you would need to know your priorities. I think my
Mm-hmm.
takeaway from it is that the confidence of being able to being put up there on stage and to present yourself in front of a lot of people is something that I gain from pageants, and then I use it with my job, which is I am a news correspondent. I go out in the field, I interact with different people, and vice versa, because when I work, I talk with different people with caliber from different walks of life, and I am also able to use that on pageants
Mm-hmm.
because it's just that I don't want to be taken at a level of face value, and
Mm-hmm.
also I feel like I do not take anything for shallow reasons now because I value my time, I value the effort of everyone around me, and I feel like at such a young age, I have really learned a lot from it. from all of my experiences, from being able to like chop myself with these four different fields and areas that I need to excel. And I feel like you don't have to compromise anything if you are really passionate about those things.
All right. So, whew, ano pa? Ako nahihirapan. How about you, Andrea? What are your takeaway from your pageant experience at the same, and of course from your work experience?
Yeah, just a little background. I
Mm-hmm.
started in pageants very late. I started
Mm-hmm.
pageants in my 20s. So
Mm-hmm.
the reason behind it is because my parents want me to perform on study. And when I and by the time that they can see that I am ready and I am prepared to face a lot of huge audience, they will know that I have an experience. I have an experience in life and somewhat I can I can face different people. I can get along with other people. And with my current work, I have been working since I am like I chose to work because I know that I need more experiences. And with regards to joining pageants naman po, what I can take from that is the professionalism and how to get along with other people, how can you manage your time, how will you be able to respect other people as well, and to be able to comply with the work itself. And I know that with my experiences, and I can apply it with Miss World if ever that I will be crowned. I know I can work well because I know that I have experience, and I know that my capabilities. I know that I have different kinds of skills that I can also use when I'm
Mm-hmm.
down. And for now, I know that I can stand for myself, not only for myself, but most importantly, the people. I think that's what I got from working in a company and transferring to a different type of industry. Yes.
Mm-mm. Ooh, 'di ba? Iba-ibang atake, 'di ba? What about you, Shannon? Of course, it's totally different with Shannon because you have no experience working. You have you have no experience as well in pageantry. So, how can you convince the organization that you are, that you are worth it to be crowned as Miss World Philippines, or at least that you are worth it as one of the best Miss World Philippines candidate.
Well, I might not have started working yet, but as a
Mm-hmm.
student, I'm not just a typical student actually. I am in a
Mm-hmm.
special program which is called Science, Technology, and Engineering section, where we have like extra subjects, and our school time is from 6 to 6, like half a day. That's
Mm-hmm.
how we work in school. And as a
Mm-hmm.
president as well, that engaged my responsibilities to lead other people, to
Mm-hmm.
manage the connections to other people. And I believe that I might not have started working, but I developed my skills in being a flexible person that can work and tag along with other people without them even adjusting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Professionalism, because I've encountered in different schools to interact with them since I'm a student leader. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, as a student, you need to be responsible and have the perfect time management, which helped me a lot during the pageant,
Mm-hmm.
during the bubble period and all the activities. Because if we have the proper time management, we can do everything in in the very most perfect way.
Mm-hmm.
Because during this time of the pandemic, we were given the chance to just stay at home. So that time
Mm-hmm.
management was very crucial, because if we just
Mm-hmm.
stay on our phones the whole day, we cannot be productive enough. And
That's right.
as me, as Shannon, I can believe that I'm one of the best candidates, not
Mm-hmm.
just because I am telling this myself, but I saw that my age is really just a number. I can say that I'm more mature than my age.
Absolutely, I can see that as well. My God, there's no more questions to follow. Jarot. Tapos na. Ayun, yun lang kasi yung laging parang hindrance doon kasi you're still very young and you still have more experiences to to um you should have to experience. There's still more you should have to experience, something like that. Pero syempre, just being a leader of your classroom or whichever that was given to you as a leader, that's already a responsibility and that's already a kind of job.
Well, for me
Ayun.
po, I never saw my age as the hindrance.
That's
Because
right.
I always saw it as my advantage because I was not known in this world, but I'm making a
Mhm.
name because I'm the
Mhm.
youngest and the tallest. And that was my one step foot forward to be
Mhm.
noticed among the 45 candidates. So my age is really just a number.
That's right, 'di ba? Tingnan mo mas matangkad ka pa kay Kyle. Charot, Kyle.
Yes, and all of us po, siya ang pinaka-tallest, even though
Yeah,
she's the
that's right.
youngest.
I know, that's right.
Mm.
She's really the tall. That's why it was really memorable. It was really memorable for everyone kasi
Mm.
nga she's the tallest and she's the youngest.
Longest,
So 'di
yes.
ba on both
It's easy to
streams
remember her
'di
and
ba?
it's easy to see her. From
Mm.
afar, it's easy to remember her and it's easy to see her. But she's the
Mm.
tallest amongst everyone.
Yeah. And gano'n naman talaga sa pageantry when always yung the tallest ang easily remembered.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is someone who's easily remembered. It's always the tallest. Ganyan. And it's easily recognized kasi sa mga bulilit. Charot!
Ay, grabe siya!
Charot! Joke
Grabe siya.
lang. Joke lang. Baka may ma-hurt.
Wala
Anyway,
ka
so,
dyan.
ay,
Definitely not
see,
canon.
grabe no, parang napakadami ng napag-usapan natin. Huh, getting to know pa lang yun, pero that's already more than 30 minutes. So, we really wanted to get to know more about you guys. So, we'll be playing the Have You Ever. I believe that you are all very familiar with this. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, one sandali lang. Okay. Kailangan nandyan tayong apat. Yan. So, I believe that you are very much familiar with this. So, are you ready, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm born
Sige ha.
ready.
Walang ha. Walang mag-hold mag-hold back ha.
Oh no.
Joke lang. Oh my
Kabahan ako dito.
God. Mm.
Kinakabahan na ng very live.
All right. So here we go. For the first have you ever. This is for everyone naman. Okay. Isa-isahin lang natin. Have you ever had worn an oversized or undersized pair of shoes? Andrea.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ay, sasabihin
Yeah.
ko ba okay lang?
How did it happen? Mhm.
For shoes, the very first time that I was trained in my college, back in my college days, that
Mhm.
was the first time I trained for pasarela.
Mhm.
And umiikot talaga kami around a basketball court. So the shoes that I borrowed is an inch smaller than my original shoe size. So
Ang
if my
sakit
shoe
nun.
size is actually 9.5, yun is actually nasa 9 lang
8.5.
or 8.5.
Sakit.
So, ano talaga, so I did well naman. I'm confident about that. Pero, syempre, yung kapalit nun is,
Paltos.
may, hindi lang paltos, namatay talaga yung kuko ko sa paa. So,
Kyle, how
talagang
about
wala pa yung,
you? Mm.
ayan,
Sige, wala pa. Go ahead. Continue, ma'am.
wala pa talaga yung pageant. Ay, masakit yung paa ko. So, hindi na talaga ako halos makalakad. But, I survived. I'm
Yeah,
happy about that.
diba? And you've learned from it naman. How about you,
I
Kyle?
used a lot.
Actually, a fun story po. Whenever I am buying shoes in the mall, I would always jokingly and honestly tell the sales lady, Ate, meron po kayong pambabaeng pang basketball player yung size ng shoes. Kasi my size is ranging from 10 to 11.
Ay,
40 to
talaga?
41. And it's so hard to find, uh, especially an Asian brand. If you're looking for shoes that is Asian brand, it's so hard to find shoes that could fit into the feet of like a man. So it's so hard for me po. Sometimes I really struggle with the comfort just so I could wear something or like a shoes, decent shoes. I had to compromise a bit, like an inch. And so I always had bruises and always had paltos on my feet because I always had to compromise the size of the shoes that I'm buying.
Ang laki naman ng paa mo, Kyle. Naloka ako dun sa sapatos pang basketball player.
Totoo po.
Hindi ako nag-get over.
Hindi po. Lagi tinatanong ko talaga every time.
Hindi ako nag-get over. Parang feeling ko tuloy yung paa ko pang basketball player. Feeling ko naman yung 41. Kasi ako, 41, 42 yung size ng paa ko. For men, di ba?
Men,
Para
yeah.
for men, napakaliit nun.
Yun nga ba, it's easier. Pero for women's size, this Asian, ang hirap.
Yeah.
Ito mo talaga. Pang basketball player.
Basketball player.
Anyways. Anyways, Shannon, ikaw naman, kumusta?
Well, same
Have you
struggle po
ever-
kay Ate Kyle. Yes, of course. Kasi same struggle po kay Ate Kyle.
Oh,
Kasi since I also have that size sa shoes, I love shoes po. Even though it's an inch smaller, I will still fit it because I love it. And then sometimes naman po when I love being on the boyish side, I also wear my dad's shoes. I borrow his Vans and it's oversized to me in an inch. Tapos sa sobrang kakulitan ko po, ayun, natatapilok ako kasi sobrang laki nga sa akin ng shoes. So,
but pero nakapagsuot ka na, but you have experience wearing
undersized and oversized.
yeah, undersized talaga. Whew. Sabi nila, naloloka sila, sacks revealed, please. Sabi. Naloloka sila, di ba? Alright, let's move on, guys.
Unstretchable. We can settle with that, but shoes, you cannot stretch the fabric.
Kailan pa nagkaroon ng stretchable shoes?
Feeling ko na po yung una mag-i-innovate.
Kaya na po namin ang invention na gano'n.
Pero naloka ako doon. Basketball player. Ayan. Anyways.
Kaya mo pa? Sukat mo?
Kakayanin ko. Okay, let's move on.
Kaya pa today.
Have you ever had snacked out from home? So 17 muna tayo. Have you ever had snacked out from home?
No po. Like, no. Never. Kasi po, I have strict parents. Very strict parents. Since I'm an only child. So before we have the consequences of sneaking out, I prefer to just stay at home. I'm okay. Whenever my friends will have overnight or some out of town gala, like it's very far away from us, I got used to not going na lang since I understand that my parents are just being protective and everything, so it's okay with me. But I want to try someday. I hope my mom is not watching. Charot.
Hello, tita. Joke lang.
Well, 17
Hello?
ka pa lang naman kasi.
Yes,
So that's yeah. Naiintindihan naman 'yan kasi 'di ba? 17 minor pa 'yan, bawal pa. Si Kyle nag-portrait Kyle yung phone mo. Ayun. Ay, Kyle. Ganun tayo kay Kyle. Ayun. How about you, Andeng? Hmm.
Kung literally coming from home dito sa Bataan,
Mhm.
no, never pa. Pero siguro, kapag nasa
Mm-mm.
dorm or apartment, minsan hindi ako nagpapaalam talaga. Yun lang.
Ayun no, sabi ni Tito Dave, bawal pa talaga silang tatlo.
Kasi na tatlo. Ako din.
Feeling ko sinadya
Mga
ni
tatay
ni
ko.
Kyle. Sinadya ni Kyle ang mawala.
Ayaw niya
Parang,
po
pero
talaga
babalikan natin yung
sumagot.
ano.
Ayaw niya
Tita?
sumagot yung stuck out. Ayaw niya sumagot. Baka may iniiwasan.
Baka papasok yan pag
Yeah.
next question. Pero babalikan.
Babalikan natin siya
Ako
mamaya.
mismo magtatanong.
Smack out.
Ayun. For next, have you ever had wished to be a boy? And then,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes, it depends on my mood. Kapag gusto ko medyo boyish yung outfit for day. Bakit lang
Mhm.
kaya minsan hindi na lang ako nagilala. Just like that. Pero, by gender, no, not at all.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, so ikaw yung excited, Shannon. Yes.
Yes po! Oh my gosh!
Bakit?
I love
Bakit?
being a woman. Like, I love being a girl. I love being me. But being a boy or a man is like, or free. Like, I think I would love to try to be a boy for one day. And I want to
Mhm.
experience everything that they do carefree. Because when you're a boy, you're like more carefree than other girls. Like,
Ito
when
ba?
we're grooming, like we don't have to go out and do our kine when we're boys because they always have those nice eyebrows and
Hmm?
yeah,
Parang hindi naman.
Bigla na
it's
patingin.
easier. You have the I
Parang
like
hindi naman. Ah.
the guys have the easier in life because like they can go out and be just carefree and okay, okay, it's good. And I would
Wala
love to
lang
try
kasing
that.
Without,
expectations. Wala lang kasing masyadong expectations sa boys.
Oh.
When we
Tsaka
go
I love
out, ganyan, oo.
outfits of men. Laki pala.
Kasalanan mo to, Kyle.
Oo nga eh.
Ayun.
Char.
So, yung tanong Kyle
so, balik
kanina
tayo dun
is,
sa
have you
ano.
ever
Balik tayo
wished to be a
doon.
boy? Mamaya, balikan natin. Have you ever wished to be a boy? Mhm.
Personally, myself, who used to hate femininity because I thought that before it's a sign of weakness.
Mhm.
Yes, I used to wish that I was a boy because it's easier. Unlike
Mhm.
girls who has a lot of standards to really get it like attain, boys are just out there combing their hair as long as they shower every day, it's fine. If you're a
Mhm.
girl, especially in pageants, you would always have to wear
Oh,
heels. I have pageant friends who are guys, and I always complain about them having the comforts of being in shoes that doesn't hurt that much because we
Aw.
always have to because we always have to wear heels if you're a girl and
Mm-mm.
you're doing pageants. And I feel like that's one of the signs that I really sometimes I wish that I were a boy.
Um, ayun, syempre hindi nag-e-end dun yung tanong kasi babalikan natin
Babalikan natin yun.
yung previous question. Nag-snack out ka kanina eh.
Ako, actually, nagkakot ko kanina po.
Nag-snack out siya eh. So
pag knocked out in an interview. Joke lang.
Have I ever?
have you ever had snacked out from home? At home rather. Mhm.
Ironically, my parents are not really very strict, though they have rules that
Mm-mm.
they want me to follow. But personally, po, I am more strict than they are with myself. So never and never did cut classes, never did. So parang before pa po nila ako bawalan ko na yung sarili ko.
Napaka
Nagkaroon ko
good
ng sarili
girl.
ko.
Oh, sana all good girl. Sana all, ano ba yan? Parang nagigilty ako, ganyan.
Ay,
Ako
Ay!
rin, parang pasaway ako
parang
sa
naging
laging.
dapat i-ever natin.
Parang ano,
Have you
parang nagilty
ever?
ako
Charot.
doon. Yes, have you ever? I had
Of course.
oftentimes, most of the time. Ayan. Anyways, moving forward. Ayan. Have you ever had a crush on your instructor or your professor or your teacher back in high school? Oh, teacher ka pa lang ha, teacher ka pa lang ano, Shannon. Have you ever had Shannon?
No po.
Talaga?
Yes, because I respect them as much. Maybe ano
Mhm.
po, parang I will like greet them and compliment na when they're handsome, really like I'll compliment them. But my teachers outside like and inside, they're like my friends, but with
Mhm.
respect and boundaries as a teacher. Because
Mhm.
I really have that student teacher connection since I'm the president of the class, but I never had a crush because I think it's not appropriate, especially I'm very young and I'm
Mhm.
not a fan of having crush pa po.
Totoo. Ayan, oh, may nagtanong si Joey.
Yeah.
Have you ever had crush with son of Bongbong?
Ay,
Sabi.
hindi po ako yan. Parang yung naka-block po yung pinapatamaan. Yung Celine po.
Parang
Yung
yung
Celine
nag-sneak
po
out
ata
kanina.
yung pangalan.
Oh, Kyle.
Ano po?
Have you ever had crush on your
Atlantis.
instructor or on your instructor, professor, or teacher once?
I feel like with an instructor, I would admire them for their intelligence because I'm sapiosexual. But at a
Mm-hmm.
level of, having deep admiration with them, I feel like I don't. Kasi, yun nga po, guys, sabi ko sa sermon ng king sarili ko because I feel like it's inappropriate. Especially,
Mm-mm.
I feel like it's going to be awkward to become a student of a teacher that is lecturing in front of you. And I feel like I
Uh,
can focus in class if I would just look into the teacher's face all the time.
mm. Self-control. Yan yung tinatawag nating self-control. Di ba?
Mm.
Mhm. Yes, Andrea.
Ayan.
Mm-hmm.
With my teacher, yung teacher ko po talaga, no, never. Sa ibang teacher siguro. Pero yeah, parang ano lang naman. Oh, parang he has some, just like that. Pero still, like, deeper feelings, no, never.
Mm-mm. Yung admiration
Crush
lang
lang
naman.
talaga. Inner admiration.
Mm-mm.
Admiration.
Mm-mm. Okay lang naman. Ako
Kasi
nga rin
teenage
dati.
lang. Teenager lang, di ba? Ganun talaga.
Oo. Nasa stage yan ng ano
Normal.
eh.
Oo, wala
Nasa stage
yun.
ng teenager, di ba?
Mm.
Mm. Normal sa teenage yan. Di
Ay,
ba?
normal po pala yun. Charot.
Sabi ni Joey, guwapo
Pattern.
teacher Bet. Sabi niya. Then nakatuck in every days.
Yeah.
Ay, nako.
Nako Joey, kilala ko ang pamilya mo. Charot.
Ay, grabe sa.
Alright. So,
So,
this one. Have you ever had worn your sister's clothes? Alright. Kyle.
all the time. We
Hmm.
both clothes from like me and her all the time we exchange clothes. That's why araw-araw din po kaming may away dito sa bahay. Because I'm going to be waking up in the morning and I would be seeing my sister wearing my favorite shirt and she'd be like walking normally, calmly, like it's hers. So it's a usual sister quarrel.
Oo.
Daily quarrel of us sisters because like we usually borrow each other's clothes from time to time. So yes.
Yung ano, no, di ba? Parang galit na galit ka tapos naglalakad lang nakaganyan.
Parang sa kanya, gano'n.
Yes, and then.
Wala pa akong sister. Only daughter lang po ako. There were two of us and I have a younger brother. So, wala talaga ako. Damit ko lang talaga.
Oh, talaga. But haven't you ever
Ah,
tried to wear your brother's clothes?
Sometimes,
Mm.
ano
Kasi,
na,
kasi there
gustuhin ko na.
are talaga yung
Pag
mga ano, yung
there
mga
are,
only
yeah, there are
dot.
moments na
Oo.
talaga gano'n. Pero pag
Oo.
nagustuhan ko na, ay parang gusto ko yung teacher ko, ako na lang. Ako na lang, hindi ko na ibabalik.
Ah,
Gano'n.
hingi na lang, akin na lang siya, gano'n.
Kaya ako na lang siya kasi hindi niya talaga
Mm.
ipapahira.
Ayun. Si Shannon naman, since only child si Shannon, how about your
Child.
mother's clothes or father's clothes?
Perfect. Perfect po. Tumbak po. I always.
Perfect
But,
Siguro
question
sabi,
for her.
siguro sabi ni Shannon, ay, ligtas ako,
yes,
wala
ligtas
ako.
na ako. Pero natumbak niyo po yung banda doon. Actually, lagi po kami nag-aaway ni mommy. Kasi magugulat siya. Paglabas ko ng kwarto, ano yan? Kaninong damit yan? Sabi ko, Tapos damit niya na pala. Kasi I love my mom's clothes. Because it's
Mhm.
comfy. Sometimes, I love wearing kasi her style. Because her style is just very simple and like neat. And I also love borrowing dad's oversized t-shirts. Ganon. So, I might not arbor my siblings because I don't have any siblings, but
Mhm.
I arbor my parents, and it's always a world war in our house, especially when I use their clothes. It's gonna be, it's gonna be, I quote, ang dami-dami mong damit, punong-puno na yung mga cabinet mo. Tapos, kukunin mo pa yung damit ko. Away po talaga lagi.
May nagtatanong, sino daw yung crush mo talaga?
Tawa
Ayun,
ko.
ini-insist
Kyle
nila.
ha.
Mm.
Ay, nako.
As in special
Joey.
mention Celine ha. Special mention Celine Rush Reveal ha.
Lang
Sabi ko.
wala.
Hmm.
Alam naman po nila.
Hindi ko alam.
Oo nga.
Hindi
Hindi
alam ni
naman
Tito.
Nalakoligtas na ako pag sinabi ko alam na nila.
Go,
Hindi ko
Tito.
alam. Hindi alam ni Tito. Tito Dave.
Ito?
Tito Dave. Hindi na. Kilala mo ba Tito
Go, Tito.
Dave?
Alam niyo si Tito Dave. That's a very fun question. But,
Mhm.
how about damit ng kapitbahay
How
mo?
about the
Ay, segue.
Segue.
May
Ay,
nagsisegue.
segue.
May nagsisegue.
Iwas ba? Iwas ba? Snack out na ba?
I gotta do that's a very, very fun question. But I feel like they know. Drop nyo na lang sa comments, guys. Sa comment section.
Drop daw.
Grabe, hindi ako pinagbigyan. Takot na takot kay Tito Dave. Just kidding. All right, let's move.
Yes.
Eto guys, alam ko ginagawa nyo to guys, but let me just ask. Have you ever had sold any of your pre-loved items? Sino mauna? Andrea.
Yes, I did.
Mhm.
The very recent is that I sold some of the food to donate for someone who is having having a battle with cancer. Dito rin po sa Morong.
Parang garage sale ganon.
Yeah, not literally garage. Just some of my clothes na kaya ko talaga. Alam kong magagamit na siya. So, ayun po. I even sold my heels with the help of my friends.
Mm-mm. Ayun. Kyle. But before you answer that, sino man yung crush? Sige,
Have
go
you
ahead.
ever sell your sibling?
Have you ever saw your sibling?
Malapit na. Joke lang.
Malapit na. Buti na lang wala akong kapatid. Kundi binenta na ako. Charot.
Yes, Kyle. Your pre-loved. Your ex. Joke.
Usually my pre-love goes to outreach programs, usually. And also the stuffed toys, my stuffed toys, I usually give them to outreach programs po.
Mm-mm.
But selling my pre-loves, siguro I did one time. I did one time. Kasi meron yata po akong gustong-gustong biling bagong labas ng Vice Cosmetics. I am a makeup junkie. So I feel like in trade of I want to buy the stuff that I really want. So,
Mm.
nagbenta ako ng item or like, I think it's a shirt. But it was
Mm.
only one time kasi always po talaga whenever I have like items na in good condition pa pero
Mm.
hindi ko na napapansin, hindi ko na nagagamit, that
Oo.
usually goes to outreach po talaga.
Sabi nga nila, kapag ka hindi mo na nagagamit ang damit mo or any apparel or anything na meron ka na for like 2 years, ganyan, i-shell out mo na siya.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Especially for
Hi!
the hello, pareho din kami.
Nangyari kay Shannon.
Sana
Nawala po ata ako.
nag-portrait.
Wait lang
Tweak mo
po.
lang siya, tweak mo lang siya.
Ayan po,
Ayun.
wait lang po. Ay,
Ayun. Bawal pa po magka-crush. Focus muna sa cram.
ayan. Ayan talaga.
Ayan. Tama na
Buti
kasi
na lang.
guys. Huwag niyo nang i-push. Yan. Vice Cosmetics baka naman. Baka naman. Alright. Um,
Okay.
so Shannon, have you ever had sold your ex? No, I
Ay,
mean, your
ay,
your pre-loved.
Ka?
Di ba pre-loved
Because
ex, di ba?
Former.
Mm-mm.
ano po, I have never. Kasi my pre-love clothes, I gave it to my cousins, my younger cousins, because I love still seeing my clothes na, kasi I value clothes so much. Like, I
Mm-mm.
really love clothes and shoes and stuff like that. So I gave it to my cousins because they can still style it, they can still wear it because it's in good condition. So I prefer giving it to them so I can still see it personally.
Mm, mm. Iba rin kasi yung fulfillment na nakikita mong ginagamit ng ibang tao, 'di ba?
Yeah.
May sentimental value kasi, yung hindi mo siya binenta ha, binigay mo.
Yes. Bigay lang, opo. Pero I plan to ano na po, plano ko na pong i-bet, charot lang. Wala pa akong plano
Ayun.
mag-bet.
Hindi, puwede rin naman kasi siyang ibenta kapag kasi kunyari marami na talaga siya, ganyan. So, ibebenta mo. Especially ngayon, ganyan, kailangan natin ng pera, ganyan. So, it's okay to give, pero kung ano naman, kung marami ka
Pag,
pa namang pera, parang si Shannon ang dami pang pera, hindi
ay
naman
wala po,
kailangan magbenta, 'di ba?
wala po ako nun. Hirap po ako kami.
Hmm, okay, let's move on. Have you ever had fallen in love with your best friend? O sige, dun muna tayo kay ate. Ate Andrea, have you ever?
Shannon,
Never.
sorry.
Ate.
No, never.
Never.
Never. Always no.
Mhm. O sige, dun na lang tayo, never na lang. Never na lang, period.
Yeah. Never. Period.
O siya, Kyle,
Never.
never talaga.
Tropa is tropa.
Huwag na nating tanungin si Shannon, siya, wala pang boyfriend si Shannon eh.
Wala pa
Never
po.
had, no?
Tropa ko yan.
MBSD.
Hello, Tita.
NBSB. Malalagot po tayo ni Mami. Hello, Mami.
Isa.
Di ba?
Hello, Tita. Totoo
Dahil
ba?
dyan, pareho tayo.
Appear.
Pareho tayo dyan. Yan. Pareho kami ni,
Ikaw po,
ni Shannon.
NBSB pala to.
MBSD. Yeah, oo.
Hi, NBSD. Hindi pala.
Me too.
Ay, lahat na nakigaya. Alright. Have you ever had eaten Pinoy street food such as chicken intestine or chicken isaw and the likes? Kyle, kasi social si Kyle.
Grabe, hindi. I'm very, ewan ko, I'm very cowboy, ganon. Very boyish talaga. Or in fact, the first thing that I was looking for when I got back into the province, sabi ko kay Mama, balot. Balot. Talaga, as in balot talaga. And isaw, my
Oh.
favorite. I might look like I'm giving off a vibe that I am someone really professional or like I am in ewan, but my taste it's very ano, very chill, very
Hmm.
ano lang.
Ayan, mukhang sosyal si Celine pero apaka-relatable niyan, 'di ba? Kaya friends namin 'yan. Uy, Joey, wala pa kayong paano ha, paisaw. Ang tagal ko nang
Oh,
nag-antay, Joey.
O
Shannon,
dapat
how
tayo
about you?
sa isaw.
Mhm.
I love street foods po. Sobra, hands
Mm.
up. Like, after school, tusok-tusok is life.
Meron ba sa school niyo? Parang wala naman.
Paglabas po ng school namin, there's like a lot of street foods. Nakahilera dyan yung isaw po na iniihaw or meron ding isaw na priniprito.
'Di ba
Tapos yung
pinapalayas do'n yung ano?
calamares.
'Di ba pinapalayas sa harap ng school niyo yung ano, yung mga gano'n? Kasi hindi sila sosyalin, layas-layas.
Ay, grabe naman, hindi naman po. Like, very simple and ano lang. Like, paglabas po, like yun yung stress reliever namin after all the ACADS na ginawa namin. Tamang
Mm,
tusok-tusok lang, gano'n.
mm. Uy, wala akong sinabing ililibre ko kayo. Kayo manlilibre sa akin. Charot.
Hindi
Dami na nga
So,
eh, 'di
yan.
ba? Dami niyo ng ano eh, promise sa akin eh. And then, si
I
Anden parang
love
nakakulong sa bahay eh.
hindi po ako malabas, pero pag
Mm.
nagtawag talaga yung mga friends ko. Pero for street food, fishball, ganyan, kwek-kwek, I love that. Pero yung balot, isaw, isaw I've tried, like,
Oh,
twice lang. Pero,
Sarap ng
favorite
hindi
isaw.
ko
talaga.
din.
Like,
Favorite ko
yung paa
is
ng manok, no, I haven't tried that. Yung balot,
Adidas.
hindi
So,
din.
alam
Hindi
mo
ko
yung mga
talaga.
alam lahat ng mga ayaw
Ako
mo yun
naman
ang
yung hindi
masasarap.
talaga.
Never
Hindi.
ko po din, di din po ako fan ng balot, actually. Rest kami ni ate.
Actually, ako,
Lahat ng
hindi ko
mga
talaga try kahit isa.
masarap ang balot. Mm.
Okay,
Ang
try
ginagawa ko po
mo
sa
lang.
balot, kukunin ko po yung sabaw ng balot, tapos kaya na mami na po lahat. Sabaw lang po,
Try ko
okay na po.
once, na-try ko once yung sabaw, pero ayun. Ay, sorry sa mga may gusto ng balot, pero hindi ko talaga.
Masarap naman yung sabaw, mi.
Actually may
Try.
ano ako, may
Kanya-kanya tayong preference.
actually may kwento ako tungkol sa balot. Kaklase ko nung nasa postgrad ako. Tapos Brazilian kasi siya. Tapos sabi niya, "What is that?" Sabi niya. Oh, this is balot ka sa kanya. Tapos and may I see? Sabi niya. Tinitingnan niya. What is this? Is this fetus? Sabi niya. You are eating fetus?
Looks like it.
Sabi niya.
Dito.
This is a chick! Sabi niya. Oh! Sabi niya. It's a chick! Sabi niya. So, you're eating fetus chick? Sabi niya.
Yes, it looks like
Fetus, fetus tawag
it,
niya.
but
So,
it's so good.
hi to my friend. Nasa Roma siya ngayon. Yan. He's my best friend. Kaalis lang niya. Anyway, ayan.
Ano na lang sorry.
Kilala ko si Brazilian. Sabi niya, yes, you know him very well, Dandy.
Ah,
Kilalang kilala
Reveal.
niya. Oo, sabi niya. Kaklase ko kasi yan. Kaklase ko tong si Dandy Janistrera. So, kaya kilala niya si Brazilian. Yeah.
sino po siya?
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. So, have you ever had too much fun at a party? Kyle.
Too much fun in an online interview. Yes.
Fun at a party. Wala talaga.
I have never set foot on any bars or
Wala talaga.
no. Actually, maybe a party for me is like eating food. That's pretty much it. Eating food or only samji, samgyeopsal. That's a party. That's a definition of a party for me. Pero I don't go out. I might look like I'm outgoing, but I stay at home if it's not job or church related or school related. Ayun po. So, never.
Parang kinilig si Joey.
Ay.
Charot lang,
Bye.
Joey. Yes, Andeng. Andeng. So, too much
Yes,
fun
I
at
have.
party. Mhm.
Yeah, I tried partying. Pero hindi naman ako talaga yung mahilig bar hopping, something like that. I just tried one. And I had fun with my friends.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kasi
So,
minsan
what do we
napapakalaman
expect? What do we expect from Shannon, no?
Well,
What do we expect from Shannon?
kayo. Ano po, I love parties. I love
Family
parties,
parties,
family
ganyan.
parties, kasi our
Big
family
party.
loves creating parties. So every birthday, every occasion, we really design the house and create games. Like we have a program every time there's a celebration in our house. So I really love parties, but family and house parties only.
Yeah. Reunion is the best. Yan.
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
Parties
Yes.
are
diba?
the best.
Super
Party-party talaga.
fun.
Wow. Mm.
Lalo na po pag madaming games.
Oo. Nodal moments with these three equally smart women. Yeah, diba?
Thank you po.
Congrats in advance. By the way, Dandy is from Cebu and he is also a Q&A mentor.
Wow.
Maayong nga
Very
gabi
bright
po sa
yan.
inyo.
Very bright yan. Mm-mm.
Would really love some tips and advice.
Absolutely. Gusto nyo ba?
Baka naman.
Magaga.
Yeah.
Mm. So, moving on, have you ever had tried cutting classes? O, nasabi na ni Kyle kanina na
Oo,
never
sabi
siyang
ko na.
nag-cut. O, si ano, si Shannon.
I had.
Oh, talaga?
Yeah. Yeah, I tried. Pero it was just a fun na cutting classes. Parang joke lang. Kasi nga po, we're a top section. And then, our
Mm-mm.
teacher told us, but it's just funny kasi with consent, like, guys, like, chill naman kayo. Like, you always ganyan. Do you wanna try cutting classes? Parang may paalam po siya. Like, they wanted us to try something new since
From
para
the
po siya.
teachers.
Yes, and then they're like,
Talaga?
do you wanna try? Try, kasi po, we're done with all the requirements, and then, kaya parang
Mm-mm.
free day siya. And then they told us na, do you wanna try? And then, ayun pa, na-try namin, parang solo niyo po kasi yung canteen kapag doon, kasi, like, everyone is in the classes. Tapos, na-try namin, parang, hindi naman siya masyadong masaya pa.
Eh, kasi naman nasa
Yeah.
kantin lang naman kayo, di ba?
Opo, so, ayun.
Kasi nasa kantin ka lang. Magtanong tayo ngayon kay Andrea.
Ay, yes. Parang ano
Yeah.
lang. Just to experience it lang. Kasi
Mm-mm.
elementary, I've never tried. High school, yes, I have tried. Pero hindi naman yung ganun talaga sa ibang ano. Okay, pag naisipan lang, wag na tayo pumasok sa yun. No, I'm not like that. Kasi first and foremost, takot ako sa mga teachers. Kasi yung nanay ko, teachers din. So, kilala nila yung nanay. So, pag
Ang hirap. May
ano na,
pressure.
ala na, yeah, hindi na talaga pwede. Kaya kailangan
Good
mag-focus
girl.
tayo. Yeah, kailangan good person.
Mm-mm. So guys, 'di ba? Puro good girls ang ano natin ngayon, guest natin. 'Di ba? Iba
Mabait po. May
rin.
halo po kami dito, oh. Nakikita niyo po ba yung
Iba
halo?
rin. Iba rin. Sana all. Parang ako lang pinaka-bad.
Ay,
Ay,
Kasi parang lahat nun based on my experience eh.
okay. Alam na po namin yung sagot. Alam na po
Lalo
namin.
na namin.
Lahat nun based on my experience talaga, di ba? Siyempre.
I feel like,
I
yung
wouldn't be
adrenaline din kasi, like, to not get caught. Something that excites, especially the teenagers kapag nagkakat ng classes. O parang hindi teenager. Yeah, I feel like that's
diba?
the thrill that they're looking for. Yung,
For
lalo na
us,
yung
diba?
nakakitan.
It's part of our lives.
Diba? Parang nagiging party kasi ng high school life yung
High
cutting
school
classes.
life.
Oh,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, pero
you know,
hindi naman dapat tularan lagi, di ba?
exactly. Pero alam mo yon, masaya eh. Kaya okay lang. Charot! Joke lang.
It's part of our
Joke
life.
lang.
So,
Oo.
Kailangan,
Yeah.
nandun pa rin yung focus. Focus pa rin sa studies. Yun pa rin ang priority.
Mhm.
It's not bad to experience to, na
Mhm.
gustuhin mo. Pero, alam natin yung limitations natin.
Be responsible na lang.
Be
Yun.
Yeah.
responsible.
Kasi
Diba?
now that, online
See?
classes na,
Mhm.
it's
Especially
easier.
ngayon, online classes. Especially ngayon,
Ngayon,
online
online
classes.
classes, wala tayong
Oh,
kawala.
talamak. Talamak ang cutting class.
Talamak ang cutting classes. It's just very sad,
Yes,
actually.
there's a lot of alibis na pwedeng
Talamak.
gawin ng mga
Kasi nga,
students, di ba? Pero,
ginagawa, picture lang yung nandyan. Oh, tapos di ba? Oo,
ala,
nakalagay na yung picture na ganyan sa
natutulog.
kabang ano. Tapos natutulog
Nakakasad
lang
po
kung
yan,
nandun.
actually. Mm-mm.
That's right. Kaya mas gusto ko pa rin ng face-to-face.
Yes, it's more effective
Mm.
as well.
Mm. At saka ang hirap magturo kapag as a teacher, no? As a
Yeah.
teacher, ang hirap pagturo ng
You would
online.
have to battle
It's a
against
struggle po.
So,
It's a
mahirap
struggle kasi
matuto.
sometimes our teacher are having like problems, especially when the students don't want to interact. Like
Kasi
awkward
kasi nga
silence.
hindi nakikita yung mga emotions, yung mga facial expressions, mga ganyan. Yung body language kasi as a teacher nakikita mo yun habang nakatayo ka.
Yeah.
You would know kasi when the student is not really interested during the class.
Or they're
physical,
sleeping already.
but it's hard to identify when it's online.
Yes, it's very,
Especially
very,
with
very difficult.
positivity.
Parang yang si Joey Habon, yung si Joey Habon, ganyan. Alam kong cutting class yan lagi. Oh. Peace,
So,
Joey.
yeah.
Peace,
Joey,
Joey.
oh.
Joey,
So yun guys,
nalaglag siya.
so Uy. So I think I think no everyone could yung girls natin ngayon, our guests are really very relatable guys. And yeah, I could say that they are indeed models, 'di ba? Role models, okay? So hindi modelo na naglalakad lang, but truly enough they are role models. All right, so we'll be talking more about social issues later on when we return. So please stay tuned, guys. Parang hindi sila naka-move on. Hindi sila on. Ang host din nag-cutting classes kasama ko, gumala sa Cubao.
Nagkakalaglagan.
Naglagan
Ay,
na
ba't
yan.
mo ako nilalaglag, Dandy? Grabe ka. Nilaglag ko na nga si Joey. Ako tuloy ang nilaglag. Ayan. Ay, may nag-cutting. Charot.
May nagkating.
May cutting.
May nag-cutting. Oh my God. Woo.
Ayun
Ay,
na.
Grabe yun, ha?
Po, yes, ma'am. Yeah, listening po.
Grabe yun, ha? First part pa lang ng interview natin, 1 hour na. Much more ngayon, di ba? Kakaloka. Yes, they are all good girls. Not only good girls, guys. They are absolutely, one of the best girls talaga. Mhm.
No, thank you.
Mhm.
Kain po tayo
Alright.
street food soon. Yeah.
Yun lang naman ang inaantay ko.
Libre daw po ni Sam.
Libre na po ni Ate Kyle.
All right, so guys, if you have any questions, please drop your questions down below now, guys. This is the time for you to ask questions, okay? However, let's start with the one I have prepared here. All right, girls, their respondents, the respondents normally say or usually say that, or most of the respondents say that, excuse me, poverty in the Philippines, the root cause of poverty in the Philippines is due to lack of education, due to illiteracy, something like that. So, what's your stand on this issue, on this pressing issue actually, or undying issue? So, if I may say, let's start with Kyle.
I feel like to be able to alleviate a bigger problem, we must start on the very beginning. And I feel like education would be the very start and root of it, because if you're educated enough, if you had an access to education or to quality education, it's really going to be easier for you to attain jobs in the future and to
Mm-hmm,
be able to become a professional, which in turn, of course, would really reduce the rates of having poverty or scarcity, especially with your personal life. And I
mm-hmm,
feel like the importance of education really plays a vital role in everyone and each and every children, because our future relies on it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. So, how about you, and then?
Well, we are always facing a lot of when it comes to education, and we feel that, especially now in pandemic. But having the right education for each and everyone, especially for the children, something that we can give to them for us to provide for our future generations a great
Mm-hmm,
quality education and a greater life for them. Beautiful.
mm-hmm. Okay.
That's something that we can provide for them to make uh that's something that we can provide for them to prepare them for the
Okay. Shannon.
Well, I strongly agree to this idea. I always believe that poverty is a cause to a lot of issues, and one of them is illiteracy rate, and that's why
Mhm,
it's actually connected to my advocacy, which is teenage pregnancy. Well,
mhm,
I always believe that teenage pregnancy was the root, especially amidst this time, knowing
mhm,
that teenage pregnancy was a rising issue. Teenage
mhm,
pregnancy was the cause of some girls that
mhm,
stopped going to school, and that's the reason why education and poverty comes along the way in other social issues in our country. And I believe that this is something that should not be a part of the new normal, because education is something that no one can take away from you in the future. So us
mhm.
teenagers should build our future by educating ourselves at a very young age about what we need to know in order for us to be well educated people and have that background in this world to be something that will create purpose and change this world for a better.
Woo! You know what, Shannon? The next question that I should be asking is actually related to that, because that's very much related to the poverty that we are experiencing right
Yeah.
now. Because yeah, you are very correct that teenage pregnancy slash adolescent fatherhood is definitely is significantly increasing, just like,
Nowadays.
yeah, well, based on the statistics last year. So it's really increasing, and definitely it's one of the factors of poverty as of the moment, not only education. However, diba? May however, may pa
Mm-hmm.
however. However, um millennials or the Gen Zs are somehow, or yeah, the millennials or the Gen Zs are somehow making this premarital sex as kind of a norm. So, in your own opinion, two of you are teenagers and one is already, an adult, well, an adult lady. All right. So, do you think that making premarital sex a norm is a norm or antithesis?
Can I start?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Shannon.
Well, on my own point of view, I believe that at a very young age, premarital sex, I really disagree on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as we all know, that a teenager should focus on their studies at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we're adults, like we are on the right age, maybe it's on the choice of those people to have premarital sex. But if we're talking about teenagers, I
Mm-hmm.
strongly disagree about this because
Mm-hmm.
we are putting on hold the educational background, which is very crucial for every young youth nowadays. And I believe
Mm-hmm.
that we should not put on hold anything just because of things like this. But we all know that teenage pregnancy has been a rising issue. And what we
Mm-hmm.
can do is a prevention. We
Mm-hmm.
can inform and educate the youth of what can be the probable causes of their actions, and maybe if they are well educated about the certain topics, they won't this won't be an issue anymore in this country.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Prevention is always better than cure. So I'm calling
Mm-hmm.
out the attention of those people that have the hand to do this. Well, I already started my propagandas about this, which is teenage pregnancy awareness seminars to my schoolmates.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that if I can call the attention of many more people in this platform, we can spread awareness about this and can stop this as soon as it arises more.
Ooh, that's right. I definitely agree with you. How about you, Kyle?
Coming from a place and perspective of someone having strong religious background and beliefs, I definitely disagree with the thought of normalizing premarital sex. I
That's
am
right.
all about chastity. I am all about purity. But
Mm-hmm.
on the non-religious context, I think that it has a lot of benefits if we would really serve ourselves or serve ourselves, because I feel like the advantages of actually being able to focus more on yourself first, being able to focus more on your priorities first, and
Mm-hmm.
being able to also get to know your partner in ways that by getting the intellectual capacities of your partner, getting their spiritual beliefs, getting to know their backgrounds, their family backgrounds, or how they are as a person. I think
Mm-hmm.
like we do not have to feel the need to be really physically intimate with someone, especially with our future partners or significant others. Because at the end of the day, if we were able to, really reserve ourselves for someone really rightful, and
Mm-hmm.
also being able to really focus on ourselves first, and also being able to choose the right partner for us, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like in the future, it's not only going to be you who's going to benefit, but also your future family as well and your future significant other, of course.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. And what about you, Andrea?
Well, Sir Francois, we all know, and honestly speaking, we all know that sex is part of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. But
Yes.
that premarital sex is something that should never normalize, especially
Mm-hmm.
now that poverty hits in many different. As per as per someone who is religious and who is raised in a very conservative uh, background or family, I open my mind that premarital sex shouldn't be done, especially if you're not ready to do it, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you're not ready to build a family. And my
Mm-hmm.
mom to that kind of um, behavior because
Mm-hmm.
it's against the law of the church first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
For us, I know that with adults, it's it's not what do you call that? It's not parang dinidisregard na nila sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, to be honest. Pero for
Mm-hmm.
teenagers, we shouldn't normalize premarital sex because first and foremost, that's one cause of poverty in a country,
Mm-hmm.
most especially here in the Philippines. And if you're not ready to do it, then don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not ready to build a family, because that's one cause why you were there's a lot of unsuccessful marriages
Mm-hmm.
or weddings. or something like that,
Mhm.
relationship or whatsoever. And that's one part of it. If you're not ready to do it, then don't do it. If you're not ready to raise a family or raise children, then don't do it. Children are blessings.
Mhm.
Alam naman natin po yun. Pero this is
Mhm.
a very sensitive issue, and
Issue.
I don't want to go I don't want to go further than that. But yeah, some premarital sex shouldn't be normal for me. For,
Mhm. Mhm. There's actually one denominator of your answers, guys. That's being religiosity and of course the family, because
yeah.
basically you are correct. Actually, I definitely agree with you that there should be an open communication among the family or within the family, and of course considering the faith that we have grown with, right? Because it's really very important to consider where we coming from before doing an action,
Yeah.
because because if we are definitely rooted on what we believe in, on our faith, and there is a good communication among the family, like we could talk anything, something like sex education, being open to the family definitely help teenagers, especially because the main victims, actually the principal victims of premarital sex, is definitely the
Teenage.
teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a
So, oh my
teenage
God.
pregnancy.
Yeah, because of due to the kasi nga, the reason why this is happening is due to curiosity.
Yeah.
Teenagers are
So we
always,
still need to
yeah.
open our minds with sex education, actually.
Mhm. Yeah, well, for me, it is not necessary to bring sex education in the school, but
It also
it started with the family,
Yeah.
talk it within the family, then definitely that's more than helpful than teaching it in the school. Kasi the tendency kasi when you teach it on the school, parang ang tendency kasi mga estudyante ang magkakaroon ng ng curiosity to experience what it means. Ganun. Yun yung yun yung parang um tawag dito, yun yung parang fear ko when sex education is brought to school.
Same. It's going to be
Mm.
normalized, most
Oo,
likely.
it's getting to be normalized talaga, especially now na yung reproductive
Very
health is
good.
already an act, not, 'di ba? So nakakatakot kasi nga, well, contraceptives can be can be available to anyone. So yun nakakatakot.
Yeah. Actually, so.
Christian faith is not the root of their answers. That's right, 'di ba? Mm.
Yeah, nowadays, especially with modern thinking, I feel like
Mhm.
we're losing track of where the roots of all of it, especially
Mhm.
like when it comes to our religious backgrounds and our
Mhm.
faiths. It's really, really important to take into consideration before we go and do any actions and become decisive of doing something that
Mm.
has consequences.
Yun kasi, yun yung mahalaga kasi to think of the consequences of our action. Kasi
Yeah.
definitely every actions that we do will bring us to another situation.
Yeah.
Yun, 'di ba? Yes, Tito Ed. Tito. Yes, Tito Dave. Dinig ko mo si Tito Dave. Ayun, 'di ba? Grabe. How are you guys? Okay lang kayo? Parang walang nagtatanong. There's a question here
like
coming from Dandy pala. So, medyo light muna tayo bago tayo mag-social issue ulit. What challenges you have experienced while preparing for pageants? Oh, yes. Ikaw muna, Kyle.
Challenges definitely would be mental strength. It
Mhm.
takes a lot of mental conditioning to be able to really believe in yourself and believe in your capabilities, especially when put into a situation where you are competing with these beautiful ladies from all over, coming from all over the Philippines and different places, and have a really really high background and caliber ladies. And I feel like the first thing that is really challenging is to be able to tell yourself every single day that you
Mm-hmm.
are there for a reason, that you are also beautiful and you must be confident, which takes mental conditioning. And that's why I feel like that's also a challenge, because at the end of the day, we must really celebrate other people's beauty and success. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that with that, I really have learned through that, inner battle within myself. And that challenge is somewhat, or really has a big impact and significant impact into my life.
Mm-hmm. Shannon, what about you?
Well,
Challenges you have experienced while preparing. Mm-hmm.
well, I love competitions, so going and meeting with other girls was not the challenge that I've encountered, but mine was actually wearing makeup. Because
Mm-hmm.
before pageantry, I was really not a fan of makeup. So I really have to learn fast on how to do my eyebrows, my mascara, my makeup, and everything. So that's the biggest challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
But since we need to learn it fast, we're trying to adapt it, and gladly, I really improved on doing my own makeup since the bubble
Mm-hmm.
period and everything up till now.
This is basically the most challenging part on you because, well, it's your first time in pageantry and it's gonna be your first time as well to be away from your family, right? Somehow.
Um, I my parents let me join
Mm-hmm.
campings,
Mm-hmm.
and I tend to visit and have a vacation with my titas. So,
Mm-hmm.
being away from my family, I'm really close with my parents, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
something that challenged me because I connect with them every day. I call them on Messenger and Facebook
Mm-hmm.
thanks to social media.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was not really the challenge for me po. Like,
Mm,
mentally saying, I can say that I'm very mentally prepared joining this pageant, since that's the topmost priority in joining this pageant. You need to have that mental stability in order to survive each and every day.
mm. Oh, siyempre, 'di ba? Well, the communication is basically technology is basically the beauty of communications on now, 'di ba?
Yes.
Mm, and then
So first, adjusting from the comfort of my home. I'm working from
mm-mm,
home, and then surprisingly, I'm gonna be joining pageant again.
mm-mm,
I know how it feels. I have experienced it before, but adjusting myself to a bigger platform, to a bigger pageant, is something that it really challenges me. And second, Kyle is right. You have to prepare yourself physically and mentally, of course, because you, in
mm-mm,
order for you to join a national pageant, just like Miss World, which is a major pageant in the country, you really
mm-mm,
need to prepare yourself, not only physically, but also mentally, because you need to consider a lot of things. You have to consider, first and foremost, the social media and
mm-mm,
the people that you're going to be surrounded with.
mm-mm,
Your all those candidates, possible candidates that you're going to compete with the
mm-hmm.
competition, because this is considering that this is a major pageant. There are a lot of girls vying for the crown. There are a lot of
That's right.
competitive girls. There are a lot of beautiful girls having great
Mm-hmm,
body, having great facial structures or something like that, and
mm-hmm,
they have the fame, of course. You have to consider all of that. If
mm-mm,
not, then you know what you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna go down.
mm-mm,
But you have to get into the situation as fast as you can, because if not, you're not gonna cope up with the with the host.
Yeah, absolutely. Kasi nga, the actually sa pageant, especially in national pageants, one thing that you would really have to prepare for is your mental readiness. 'Di ba? Yeah, kasi you are not only dealing with your fellow candidates, with the organizers, but most especially to the audience, to the
And
yeah, to the fans, to the enthusiasts. These are actually the somehow the most challenging to deal
Yeah.
with. Yeah, especially
At
now,
that
diba?
new
Mhm.
normal. They're adjusting to new normal.
Exactly. Sila ngayon yung ano yung most challenging talaga na kalaban nyo. Kasi not only yourself kasi when it comes to yourself, you know yourself well, pero
Mm.
how you would react to this enthusiasts, to this bashers, 'di ba?
Well, I personally
Mhm.
believe po na if you know yourself, you will
Mhm.
automatically know how to react with people and enthusiasts in the pageant world because like their opinions, you can filter it. You can filter what to
Mhm.
take in,
Mhm.
with what opinions can help you. So when you know yourself, you know what to say and you know what to do, how
Mhm.
to overcome those opinions.
Mhm. That's right. I definitely agree with you as well on that. All right. Whew, diba, ang haba ng usapan natin, guys. Nakakaloka kayo. Alright, so, mhm. Alright, let's talk about, well, we've been talking about social media anyway. So, fake news is very rampant in social media. Well, let's start with Shannon. How do you filter fake news on your feeds?
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
only follow trustworthy pages, which
Mm-hmm.
I know provides authentic and true news because I always believe that we are given the advantage of social media to use it wisely. And we
Mm-hmm.
all should know that one click can change one life.
That's
And we
right.
should be responsible of our actions in social media. And fake news should not be normalized and not be seen as a joke by a lot of Filipino people because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know the effects of fake news to our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking this opportunity to call out the attention of all the Filipinos or all the people that are watching this right now that before you click, think before you click because one click can change one life.
That's right. Mm-hmm. How about you, Andrea?
Um, with my based on my experience, just like Shannon, I only follow those who are relatable
Mm-hmm.
pages when it comes to social media. To be honest, these days, these past few weeks, I have never been that much engaged with social media that much because first and foremost, these days with this kind of situation that we have, social media are stuck. For
That's
me,
right. That's right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are a lot of news, there are a lot of trolls coming around,
Mm-hmm.
and you really don't know what to believe in. You
Mm-hmm.
really don't know what's right and what's wrong when it comes to social media because people are, you know they bash someone without knowing
Mm-hmm.
what what the real background that
Mm-hmm.
that thing that they're backing. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that social media, once you are engaged to it, you can never run out of it. You have to, you just have to repel yourself little by little. But
Mm-hmm.
for now, the most effective way for me to get out of that toxicity is to just be yourself. Do not ever just rely to the as much as possible the relatable news that like TV or YouTube or Google. For me, kasi once I get once I read one news from social media, I have to search a lot about it
Mm-hmm.
if that's true. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's one effective way for us to believe um in this news, just to
Mm-hmm.
get out from the fake news and don't believe at all.
All right. Yes, Kyle.
For me, it's really our responsibility also as users of, different social media platforms to filter out informations that we think are not really fully factual. We must
Mm-hmm.
know to take like or see both sides of the coins and be able to really criticize anything that we see on social media constructively. Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like whatever you really put out there is something that is going to be embedded there forever
That's
online.
right. Mm-hmm.
That's why you're only a click away towards digging up your own grave. And I feel like it's easier for us to judge something that what we saw visually for than what we really should know about. I feel like we must really be careful also about what we post, not just what we see online with the fake news that is going on. But I feel like us users should really take into consideration the people who are going to be affected by our posts, our comments, our shares, instead of spreading hate comments or spreading negativity online. We must really utilize the time that we have online to really, spread good
Mm-hmm.
vibes and
That's right.
share the things that we really think that could brighten up someone's day instead of, uh, posting something that isn't going to be really beneficial towards other people. Uh, Besides other adding flavor to a story or a news that isn't really going to be somewhat significant. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we must really be careful as readers as well, both sides, as a reader or as a user of social media. We must really be
Mm-hmm.
careful and we must be able to be, yes, technologically literate, as what I
Mm-hmm.
saw earlier. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something that is really important for us. So we could really cultivate a culture of understanding and be able to understand people in different circumstances.
That's right. Kasi nga, it's really very important for us to fact check talaga. To
Mm.
fact
Yes.
check the news or what
The
we read.
resources.
Kasi we have no control of those creating news like that as well, because sometimes they do that for living, 'di
Mm.
ba? And if we don't do fact check naman, sino bang masisira? Hindi sila kundi tayo na readers. Yun.
Yes.
Mhm. And sometimes it's basically igniting the people to, tulad ng sabi nyo kanina, to bash each other. So it will never end. So if we know how to do fact check, if we are responsible enough to, you know, to look for credible sites
Resources.
or
Yes.
sources, 'di ba? So hopefully we could be able to stop that. Mm,
Yes.
'di ba? Yan. Ano pa ba? Alright. Nakaloka kayo. Naloka
Medyo
ako
mabigat
dito, ha.
yun.
Medyo mabigat. So, all right. So, let's move on. Let's talk about LGBTQIA. So, well, it's an ending issue, and hanggat hindi na siguro nasosolve yung tinatawag na yung SOGI bill. It's always an issue, it's always an item, 'di ba? So ngayon, let's talk about this. Well, we already know that we are recognizing male and female as genders, right? So with the Soji
Yes.
bill, there could be a possibility that we are going to recognize the third gender. So seemingly magkakaroon tayo ng three genders in a way. What's your opinion on that? Is it really necessary to push for a third sex or to recognize a third sex where in fact when the LGBTQIA is basically clamoring for equality. So is it really necessary to have that or to get recognized a third gender sexual orientation or third gender na lang pala. Ngayon. Let's start with Kyle since ikaw ang nandyan.
Okay. I think it's really anyone's personal prerogative to be able to call in a pronoun that they want to. I think it's their personal right to be called in, whatever they want to be called or they want to be identified as,
Mm-hmm.
it's our freedom. If you want to
Mm-mm.
be called as a he or a she, it's your freedom.
Or
But I really
they.
feel like, yes, but
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like being able to really alter the biological identification and adding a
Mm-hmm.
third gender is something that is not necessary for us to be doing, because I
Mm-mm.
feel like we cannot really change something that we are biologically inclined. What we can change, of course, is the preferences, our preferences, whatever we want to be called as, whatever we want to be seen as for other people or respected as someone, as a he or she. But I really feel like, yes, I do respect, and in fact, I am under um, someone who's handling me is, also a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. But really feel like we don't really have to feel the need of adding a third gender, because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, we have the freedom to be
Mm-mm.
really, to be really called as something that we know that
We want. Mm-hmm.
want, yes, for our personal preference. But I think that, adding a third gender to our originally biologically inclined identification is
Mm-hmm.
something that is not really necessary for us to be doing. So.
All right. Thank you. And Shannon, what about you? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I see nothing wrong po about Sajid Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as we all know that we are an adapting community and we are welcoming the LGBTQ community open arms. I see nothing wrong about it. It's like giving them the third restroom that they deserve because we are giving them the rights that we should offer them like a long time ago. If they are more comfortable of having the third gender, then why not give them the
Mm-hmm.
openness and the capacity to have it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, on my own opinion, I see nothing wrong about Taji Bill, and I am strongly agreeing with it as a
Mm-hmm.
girl that have a lot of friends and is surrounded by the LGBTQ community, and we
Mm-hmm.
should open them. We should be open with it as if in our generation.
Okay. Thank you. And Andrea.
Well, in this type of generation that we have, in this type of panahon that we have
Mm-hmm.
now, I think we have to consider the third gender in our community, because first and foremost, they were there already. We can
Mm-hmm.
never the fact that there are LGBT, there are a lot of people who are part of LGBT.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I consider positive, because people need to be respected with in terms
Mm-hmm.
in terms of their social preferences, life preference.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to be respected as male and female genders, why don't we
Mm-hmm.
give that back to them as LGBTQ?
Okay. And this could actually lead us well to, well, just like what you have mentioned, since you are open to, to recognizing third gender, could could open as well to change the gender that well, our sexual or our biological gender into documents, right? So the tendency is that once that's already being done, once that's already being legalized in the Philippines, there could be also a possibility that trans women could be joining traditional pageants. So what's your stand? What's your take on that? Let's start with Shannon.
Well, I love the transgender women, and I always believe that transgender women are women.
Mm-hmm.
But also believe that we can give them as prestigious as women pageants have, like Miss World Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
We can give them the same amount of um, audience, and we can give them the same amount of boosting of confidence as we give the women pageants. And I believe
Mm-hmm.
that by this, we can we can conquer the world with more united country. And because
Mm-hmm.
of this, we can be open to having pageants as prestigious and as perfect so that we can both have equalities in this world.
All right. So, what about you, Kyle?
In terms of that naman po, I really feel like there would be nothing wrong if we would really give them a chance to join in,
Mm-hmm.
like a
Traditional
traditional
pageants.
female
Mm-hmm.
pageants. Because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is actually what we're fighting for, the advocacies that we have, and the advocacies that we have doesn't really have something to do with our gender identifications or sexual
Mm-hmm.
orientations. I really feel like what they believe in, what they are fighting for is what is vital for us to be able to have equality in this world. And if that is going to be able to help us have to be eliminating double standards, then I think it's going to be okay to be accepting applicants who are really identifying themselves, like transgender women. I really feel like there would be nothing wrong to be accepting someone who also has the same right to fight for something that they believe in.
All right. Yes, Andrea.
Well, we always consider transgender women as women,
Mm-hmm.
but as third gender of the community, we can consider that. But in pageants, when it comes to pageants, there are prestigious pageants that could be we could separate them.
Mm-hmm.
We can create a more bigger platform for the LGBT, for the third gender, as prestigious as the normal pageants that we have in the
Mm-hmm.
current generation. I know that we can respect each other's sentiments, and there would be nothing wrong about that. Giving them a separate platform. We are not regarding their genders, but as far as I'm concerned, um, we can give them the same opportunity in a different age group.
All right. Yeah. Why not, 'di ba?
Uh,
Tawag 'di ba? Oh, kasi nga meron din naman din silang talagang tawag dito
it would
sariling
be more
pageant.
entertaining
Yeah.
actually if we
Mhm.
have separate pageants because we can have
Mhm.
a lot of um, shows to watch for
Mhm.
like that.
But then again kasi sa Philippines, since we do not have since yeah, we do not have a law yet that legalizing anyone to change biological genders, 'di ba? So we cannot definitely this cannot actually be materialized as of yet.
Yeah.
So, yun pa yung isang yun yung isang
But
challenge pa as of the moment. Mhm.
but honestly speaking, once it could be implemented
Legalize.
and
Mhm.
it will always or legalized, it will always
Mhm.
depend on the organ.
It will always depend on the it always
They
depends
will
on the
we're not
organization.
really against
Mm-mm.
we're not really against that, but if we
Mhm.
still have a choice for them,
Mm-mm.
then why don't do it?
Mm.
Yes, of course. Given a chance to choose, 'di ba? So,
Yeah.
just expressing our opinion anyway. So, this doesn't mean that it should be against them. Okay?
Yeah.
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 Mhm. Okay, so ang haba ng usapan. Kakaloka. All right, so when we return, guys, we'll talk more of their advocacy. So please stay tuned after this short break. Once again. All right, we are
Wait lang
back.
ulit.
So, ayos lang. All right,
Sorry
we
po.
are back. So, mhm. Okay, so this time, guys, we'll be talking more about their more of their advocacies. Okay, so let's start it with Shannon. I think Shannon already mentioned about her advocacy a while ago. She already gave us a glimpse of her advocacy, but this time she'll be talking more about it. Okay, go ahead, Shannon.
Well, as a youth, as a teenager, I saw it firsthand that teenage pregnancy has been a rising issue during this pandemic and in our generation in general. That's
Mm-hmm,
why I believe that we should not consider teenage pregnancy as a part of the new normal, but
mm-hmm,
teenage pregnancy should be alarming to a lot of Filipino people. Why? Because it is connected to a lot of social issues in our country, starting with education. Like what I've said earlier, education was greatly affected when teenagers are being pregnant at a very young age because they need to
mm-hmm,
stop and change their path and became
mm-hmm,
mature and became a mother or a parent at a very young age. And it's
mm-hmm,
also connected to poverty and
mm-hmm,
continue to a lot of social issues in our country. That's
mm-hmm,
why I am calling to attention and I just want to educate everybody that
mm-hmm,
prevention has been always been better than cure. So we should
mm-hmm,
be aware what can be the probable causes of teenage pregnancy, and by this we can educate other people, other teenagers, that we know that teenage pregnancy should not be normalized ever,
that's
because
right. Mm-hmm.
we should not sacrifice education as much as possible, because this is something that no one can take away from you in the future when you are educated.
All right. I can definitely feel you, Shannon, where you're coming from. But I would like to understand where you really coming from, where this advocacy is coming from. How did you come up with the advocacy? At a very young age, you thought of this. This is really very essential advocacy to pursue. Mm-hmm,
Why? Because I'm a high school student. I told you
mm-hmm,
that my experiences at this age was my advantage, and that's
mm-hmm,
the reason why I saw this as a problem, because I have a lot of schoolmates that actually has experienced teenage pregnancy,
mm-hmm,
and I I know some people that is close to me, or some people that's related somehow to our family that experienced teenage pregnancy, and I see firsthand how their lives changed, how
mm-hmm,
their paths evolved, how their dreams shattered because of this. Because when you get pregnant at a very early age, your dreams are take on pause.
mm-hmm,
Like, you need to push through or pursue something to prioritize first before your dreams, because you need to fulfill your duties to become a mother
to
or a
become a mother.
father.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
why we all should be alarmed about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I
All
know
right.
that
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and I know that I might be just a teenager as well, but
Mm-hmm.
when you saw it firsthand, when you saw how their lives change, and when you saw how they are having this uncertainties and the struggles, when they cry on your shoulders, that's when you know that it is a problem.
Mm-hmm. And if I may ask, Shannon, how long have you been working on this?
Well, I've been working on this since like last year, because
Mm-hmm.
I know someone. Let's put
Okay.
it on that code, that I
Mm-hmm.
know someone that have been experiencing teenage pregnancy. She's
Mm-hmm.
very young, younger than me to be honest. And it's very it was a very emotional interaction, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that, wait, I'm just gonna ask if I can say this.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I. Mm-hmm.
Let's yeah. I know she's very close to me,
Mm-hmm.
and
You don't have
she's
to mention the name. You don't have to
yeah.
drop a name at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like 13,
Mm-hmm.
13 or 12 when she got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And sh she's very shattered at that moment, because when you're 13, you really don't know what to do when you became pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that her dream shattered. We don't know. that what can be the scientifically related causes when you're pregnant at that age is very risky as well. And we should all be aware that science is not science. We should always believe in science too. And it's going to be having a great impact on her life, on her journey, on her dreams.
Yeah, you know what, to be honest, Shannon, I can definitely relate with you because I was also in high school when I had a classmate who stopped going to school or who stopped her education because she got pregnant at
Mhm.
13 as well. We were in first year, I guess. Yeah. We were in first year back then. Um but it wasn't due to premarital sex, but it was due to, how shall I say,
Right?
yeah, actually, to be honest. So that single incident actually bear fruit, that he
Mhm.
she wasn't able to tell it to her parents, that eventually, after a while she became pregnant.
Well, I must advise, if I just can voice out, that
Mhm,
if teenagers, I'm calling out the attention of each and every girl that you might, or I wish not, but if you will be pregnant at a very young age, go to your parents.
mhm.
Why? Because they're the ones who can understand you the most.
That's
They
right.
will always be there for you no matter what happened. You
Mhm.
might be scared for now, but just remember that they are the ones that will help you the most and will be there to support you no matter what happened.
That's right. Whew. Hi, Vince Von Kaiser. Good PM, mga kapatid. God bless. Wait. Good PM, mga kapatid. Am I your kapatid? No, I'm not your kapatid.
House of Crowns din
He's
po.
part
Ah,
of
sa
House of
grounds.
Yes,
Crown.
Yeah.
hello po,
Yeah.
kuya.
I'm sorry. Hi. So, nagpa-pageant pala tong si Vince Von Kaiser.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Charot lang, Von. All right, let's move on to Kyle. So tell us about your advocacy. You weren't able to mention anything or give us a glimpse a while back, right? Mhm,
Yes po, actually.
mhm,
I'm intending to tell everything right now because it's pretty emotional.
mhm,
Um, this is something very dear to me because it personally happened to me po, and I have personally
mhm,
struggled with it.
mhm,
And that's why I really am coming out very strong with this one because I want people to realize that this has no age, definitely has no face, and has no gender, and it is mental health.
mhm,
I feel like when I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder as young as 14,
mhm,
I was really afraid to admit that I was also struggling and becoming vulnerable in an age and year where we have a stigma about mental health that or mental health issues that if you have that, it's just all in your head. Or if you reach for or seek for professional um, help, people will think that you're crazy. Why are you
mhm,
going to a psychiatrist? Why are you going to a psychologist? People would think that you're out of your mind or there's something wrong with you, with what you think. And that's why it was really harder for me to admit at first. And these past few years, I have been silent about it with the stigma that has been going around with it. And now that I was able to be ready to be vulnerable, I've already shared my story, but that's why I wanted to become my advocacy because I know that the greatest gift that you can also give to another struggling human is the gift of admitting the same thing because you're
mhm,
giving them the permission to really be vulnerable themselves. And I feel
mhm,
like it's not a sign of weakness, especially in these trying times where the pandemic really took a toll on our mental health. And there are already environmental factors that are affecting our mental health. I
mhm,
feel like we really need each other. We really need a culture of understanding And to be able, I want to be able to really become the bearer of positivity for when it comes to mental health, that it can happen
Mm-mm.
to anyone, with different walks of life, rich or poor. It doesn't matter what you have in life or what you have achieved already. It really doesn't matter if you're only young, and if people are going to be telling you you're too young to be problematic and you must have
Mm-mm.
fun, you must enjoy something that I've also heard
Mm-mm.
from my past experiences, and that I was belittled, that my feelings were invalidated because they think that I am too young and I'm just being maarte with what I was experiencing. So we want to be able to open everyone's eyes to be understanding and be kind and be warm to anyone you could be ever meeting, because you would never know what they're going through. And I
Mm-mm.
have been really supporting, mental health advocacies for as young as 13. Actually,
Oh.
when it popped out po, yes. I've been silently, silently and low-key helping other people with it na din po, and joining na din po campaigns on social media, the
Mm-mm.
hashtag or the suicide hotlines,
Mm-mm.
just little acts that I know that could really make a significant impact. And now that I
Mm-mm.
have a bigger platform, I
Mm-mm.
have chosen it na din po as my advocacy because it's as authentic as my life journey. That's
Mm-hmm.
why, ayun po, that's my advocacy po.
Well, the very first thing that they would really ask, that they would really ask, especially on the case that, especially on those who were actually successfully overcame mental health just like you. The very first question to be asked is, how did you move on, or what was your first move to um, to conquer your situation.
The first move po actually was, of course, I was too young. I was afraid. I was scared.
Mm-mm.
And so I seek for my loved ones, my family, especially my mother, and I ask her what to do. And then
Mm-mm.
after that, um, when things got really serious, when I'm having series of panic attacks, and when I feel like this is something that is out of hand anymore, and I feel like there's really something wrong with me, that's the time where I have considered to seek for a psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important to have that in mind, and also have a family and your loved ones or your friends that would support you, because
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard if you don't have someone who you could really, cry on to. You should have someone who could support you and be able to listen to you whenever you need it. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's very important, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a very root cause why I think some that I know that unfortunately really considered to kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have supportive, someone who's supportive, someone who can listen to them, to their problems, and to the things that they're going through, their shortcomings. And it really would start with the support, the support system that you get from other people as well, especially
Mm-hmm.
from your family and loved ones.
But normally they would also think that being diagnosed for mental health is somehow expensive, right?
Yeah.
Because you really need to, because you need to go to a mental therapist, something like that, right? You need to have to
Yeah.
you have to go through mental therapies. So mental therapy pala. Mental
Mm.
therapy. So
Yes, it's very
mhm,
unfortunate po talaga na here in the Philippines, we still have this, unequal access to
mhm,
mental health therapy, as what you have
mhm,
mentioned na po. But I
mhm,
was really fortunate enough to have connections even from abroad, who really offers for free psychological services din po. And
mhm,
I feel like it's really hard if you won't have connections. It's really hard if you won't have access,
mhm.
especially that as you have mentioned, yes, it's really
Expensive.
kind of expensive to be able
Mhm,
to go for professional help when it comes to our mental health po.
Mhm.
That's why we should really take into consideration na din po na in our country, at least,
Mhm.
um, calling out the attention of our also like psychologists and psychiatrists. I feel
Mhm.
like we really need to do something about it. That's
Okay.
it. Yes.
Mhm.
It must not be exclusive. It must be inclusive.
And there's also a notion um mental health, how shall I say, patients, that
Mm.
when one is undergoing mental health issues, is sinasabi niya may krong-krong, ganon.
Yun nga po.
Yeah,
That's
oo.
what I have
So, how
mentioned.
do you handle that? Mm-mm.
That's what I have mentioned. That's why I at some point was tired of explaining myself that it does not like
Mm-mm.
it does not mean that way. It's definitely
Mm-mm.
the opposite. I feel like
Mm-mm.
nowadays, especially that we're slowly cultivating a culture of understanding.
Mm-mm.
We're already being open to, like what really happens when you do
Mm-mm.
this, when you do that, especially
Mm-mm.
with the professional help.
Mm-mm.
I feel like we should not really judge someone who chooses to
Mm-mm.
seek for professional help. And it doesn't
Mm-mm.
mean that you go for a psychiatrist or you go for a psychologist that you're crazy or you're something is going on with you. It
Mm-mm.
just means that maybe that person really had the access and really had all the things that are necessary for him or her to be able to know what's really happening with what he or she's dealing with.
Mm-mm.
And that's what people need to understand them for. And they should not be afraid of a psychiatrist or psychologist. And they're not crazy. Whoever
Mm-mm.
is going to a psychiatrist, hindi po sila baliw. Wala pong, hindi po ibig sabihin na ganon.
Mm-mm.
Um,
That's right.
it's very different.
Mm-mm. All right. So there you go. What about? Thank you so much, Kyle, for that.
Thank you
Okay.
po.
So let's have Andrea. Ala, parang napakalungkot na. Kanina say-saya.
And then, and then as I have mentioned earlier, that my advocacy for my advocacy is about cancer awareness. It all started last year because I experience not experience, but I seen my close relatives. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
I think I also mentioned this before. I've
Mm-mm.
seen my relatives pass away because of cancer, and during the battle, it's really hard for them. And I think that until their last minute. So I think this issue has to be obtained because the battle is very crucial and agonizing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as as early as now, we need to be well educated when it comes to our health, most
Mm-mm.
especially to our bodies. Take care of it, especially the children. They have
Mm-mm.
to be open minded at what might come in the future because we can never see when we are ready to face that kind of struggle. Cancer is the leading cause of death worldwide, not only in their
Mm-mm.
country but into the entire world. And
Mm-mm.
I think that working with the right education. Actually, I'm already supporting an organization here in Bataan, and I really look for them, and I'm amazed and I admire this organization because the founder is actually a doctor, a cancer
Mm-mm.
doctor. So he founded that organization way back 2004, and
Mm-mm.
they were really helping those cancer patients around Bataan. They
Mm-mm.
try before pandemic. They were trying to do some activities each municipality as much as they can to give education, especially to high school students, and that's what
Mm-mm.
really amazed me a lot. I might be a little late for that, but
Mm-mm.
in the future, I want to to watch them doing those activities, and at the same time, I can share some of my learnings or what I have taken from my experience. And yeah, that's really something that I'm looking up to, and supporting some supporting some patients through their battles and really uplifting them. Once cancer is there, kasi we can
Mhm.
never get out from that. The only way that we can deal with that situation is to fight it as much as we can, to make
Mm,
more time with our family. Pero mahirap po talaga labanan,
mm,
especially kapag malala. Alam
mm,
naman
that's
natin.
right.
Yun, the main reason is that I want to create a bigger platform. That's the reason, one reason kung bakit ko napili yung Miss World. Is because
Mm,
I know that that I can trust this organization, that I can create a bigger platform to pursue this personal growth.
mm. Ayun.
Yes,
When it comes to cancer kasi, maraming factors din kasi yan, 'di ba? Especially sa mga kinakain natin. And
so
one of the
sorry if
oh, and one of
it's
the
raining na.
ay talaga. Yun. And one of the ano kasi, one of the factors kasi ng cancer is yung mga carcinogenic foods. Especially yung mga ihaw. And we love so much ihaw. Is this a reason why you don't eat much of isaw? Ganon?
Actually, I'm not really used to eating sweet foods like that. Pero that's one factor din. Kung
Mm-mm.
bakit, that's one of the reasons kung bakit nagkaroon ko yung tumor or something like that, or something na, yung mga unhealthy foods, like junk food, or marami eh. But we also need to consider our diet. Um,
Mm-mm.
Regular workout, something like that. As
Mm-mm.
much as possible, that's one of the reasons kung bakit um, yung mga bata yung kailangan din nating educate when it
Mm-mm.
comes to kailangan natin gawin na i-build up yung mga yung mind nila
Health
para
conscious
doon. Kasi
awareness. Oo.
health conscious yata.
Mm-mm. Ayun. And isang factor din kasi dito is yung hereditary, 'di ba? Yung genetics, 'di
Yes,
ba? When one of the family is being stricken by by cancer, there could be a possibility that um alam mo 'yon, magiging part ka rin nun. Na magkakaroon ka rin nun, I mean, 'di ba?
sometimes
Kasi
hindi talaga may
genetics siya, eh.
iwasan.
Oo. Oo.
Talaga may iwasan. The only thing that we can
Mm.
avoid that to live in a healthier way.
Mhm. Okay, ang hirap nun. And siguro one thing that you could do for this advocacy is to um alam mo yun, to create a group of counselors, ganyan, be part of the counseling team, parang ganyan, para dito sa mga para sa mga patients. Because you know what, when I was going to um East Avenue for my ministry, ganyan, um ayun, there were cancer patients talaga, and what we do with them, counseling talaga, in order for them to, somehow, it's not for the preparation of death, ganyan, but the acceptance of um, the sickness, or the acceptance of the situation that they are going through. Kasi
It's
many
actually
of them,
one of the
mm-mm,
it was actually one of the reasons why once we have people do that once we have cancer, that cancer strikes,
mhm.
it's already an end for them. Parang
Oo,
pag nagka-cancer, okay, a lot of possible things might happen in the future. So I have to
mhm,
be ready. That's the mindset that we are, especially dito sa Pilipinas.
mm-mm,
Parang ang hirap suportahan. Walang
mm-mm,
support na binibigay sa mga cancer. Pero, ayun nga po, as much as possible, kailangan natin iwasan na kung kaya.
mm-mm. Mm-mm. So the idea, just like what I have mentioned, so the idea of talking with them, ganyan. Tawag kasi namin doon counseling eh. The idea of talking with them kasi is to help them realize that this is your situation. You have to accept it. You still have hope though anyway. 'Di ba?
Or
If
matutuwa.
yes, if you cannot tawag dito extend your life at least, 'di ba? You have accepted your situation
Only out of
and
it.
yes, willingly to offer it to the creator. So, mm. Yun.
And
Mahirap
one of the
yan.
things, one of the issues, main issues po is financial.
Mm.
Aminin na natin na hindi, financial talaga ang hirap
That's
pag-stress.
right. Oo,
Kaya,
oo.
ang hirap.
Mm. Ang lungkot naman ng ang lungkot ng mga wala bang tawag dito, advocacy na masaya, gano'n?
Actually, it's an advocacy. Kailangan natin talaga mag-step forward
Oo.
para
Whew!
kailangan natin ng maayos na
Grabe.
situation.
Ang pangit pala ng buhok ko. Anyways, umaya nalungkot ako sa advocacy niyo ang haba ng pinag-usapan natin. Now, this time, let's go proceed to our exercise that I have just mentioned earlier, ha. So, wow, ang daming nagmamahal sa inyo, oh. Ang daming nanonood pa rin sa totoo lang. Thank you so much guys for for tuning in guys. Thank you so much. I love you all. All right. So there you go. Can you see this guys?
Yes.
Oh, sandali
Ah,
lang.
ako.
Ayan.
Ayun.
Pick a box. Okay. Yan. Napakasimple lang naman yan, guys. So, I have prepared 6 mystery boxes. Okay. Now, all you have to do is pick your mystery boxes, and each of these mystery boxes are somehow very simple words or group of words. 'Di ba?
Mhm.
Word or group of words. Ay, hi Julie Tarayo. Hello. Julie.
Hi, Ate
Hi,
Julie!
Julie!
Na ano
Ating
naman ako, na
the
touch naman ako
motivational
kay
speaker.
Julie. Yeah, the
Ate
motivational
Julie,
speaker.
hello! Our
Sana Julie
motivational
ano,
speaker.
sana
Sama
Julie
ka ba dun?
makapag-guest ka dito. Ah, ganun nga. 'Di ba? Ayun. Anyways, so for each mystery box, there is a corresponding word or group of words that you can make a comment on or make a reaction or opinion. Give opinions. Okay? Okay ba tayo
Naka-zoom in
doon?
po ata masyado yung picture.
Hindi naman.
Sakto
Hindi
lang.
naman. Sakto lang.
Okay pa.
Oo, nandito lang tayo sa gilid, be.
Okay pa.
Oo. Yun yung nakikita nila sa screen natin. Okay? Alright, are we good? Ready ba?
Okay pa.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's gonna go first? Okay, let's start with Andrea. Si Andrea naman ang mauuna, di ba?
Oh,
Okay, so tigda-dalawa nyo ha?
tigda dalawa.
Oo, tigda-dalawa nyo lang.
Ah.
Hindi ako masipag. Yung tigda-dalawa
Okay,
lang. So,
I'm gonna
so
go for
first
number
off,
2.
number 2. All right, so number 2 is island or mainland? O parang fast talk lang.
I'm gonna go for mainland
Bakit?
because that's where we live, and I can never live alone in an island. Especially,
Oh.
I'm also an outgoing person. It might not be that obvious in my aura, but I'm an outgoing person. I can never go in a day without talking to someone. So I could go for and
Oo.
like po magulong magulong sitwasyon. So yeah,
No man is an island. Tama ka naman dyan.
no man is an island.
All right. So next, We have Shannon. Anong first pick mo, Shannon?
One.
Number one din, tapos na ang one.
Two. Ito yung kanina po.
Two po
Ha?
yung sa akin kanina.
Ay, ito ba yung
Two.
sa'yo
Number,
kanina? Ako pa
yeah.
lang nawala, no? Number two, same-sex marriage.
Wow.
Story
I
naman.
I think this topic is really
So familiar now.
really going with me because this was our
Mm-hmm.
topic on our debate. Well,
Okay.
let's start with saying na I'm a part of our church and I've served the church for a very long time. But knowing in our generation, I always have an open mind that there's nothing wrong about same-sex marriage. And we are already open about the LGBTQ community, and I
Mm-hmm.
still have a strong hold that same-sex marriage is about the legally wise, about the connection of two partners,
Mm-hmm.
and there's also marriages outside the church. And if
Mm-hmm.
we cannot be really open about the sacristy of same sex marriage inside the church, we can consider same sex marriage outside the church. And there's other ways about this topic.
Mm-hmm.
School.
Okay. Sige, wala na akong comment para ano, hindi na humaba. Joke. No?
3 hours
Oo,
na po eh.
ha? Magti 3
3
hours na tayo
hours
eh.
na
2 hours and 30 minutes na eh. Kapag ka magdagdag ako yan, baka makipag-debate pa sa akin si Shannon.
Wag na po.
Yeah, because personally, I'm against it naman. Well, meron kasi tayong tinatawag na same-sex union.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same-sex union is okay, but not really same-sex marriage because by definition, marriage is very sacred. So, yeah, coming from a very religious or conservative family and community, I really value. I really have high values um,
Meron.
on marriage. Yeah, so it's a no-no to me. Yun. Yun lang yun.
But ano po kasi, I know
Sabi
one,
ko na nga pa eh.
no, I'm just gonna defend something po.
Okay, go ahead.
I know a story that there's a
Mhm,
couple. This is something that I haven't emphasized on our debate. That
mhm,
there's one couple that his partner died and he
mhm,
cannot even get his partner out of that morgue.
mhm,
And can you imagine how heart shattering is that? That
mhm,
um, um, you can't have legal rights about your partner for life, which you've
mhm,
been there for each other for a very long time, and
mhm,
you can't have the rights to get him out of the hospital and transfer him to a cemetery or
mhm,
a proper burial like that
mhm,
because you are not married to each other.
mhm,
And yes, I'm also a servant of the church and I value the church and its values so much.
mhm,
But um I always believe that it's time to be open about certain things, especially that
mhm,
we are already being open about the LGBTQ community. So
mhm,
um I believe that we can always be open. We can continue being open, but with the proper limits and values as
mhm.
well.
I'm taking that last sentence that you just said, that taking limits and values. So that's really very important. This is one of the limitations. This is one of the values. So we have to take it really very seriously. Yes, it is right. You are very correct that there is a problem on couples that are being together for a long time. That at the end of the day, after one dies, there is difficulties on legality per se. However, this is basically the reason why I am saying that same-sex union is very much possible, which can be done in civil. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just rather not call it marriage because marriage for me is very you know, I value so much. I value it's very sacred for me. Yeah, so I would rather have one I would rather have that same sex union in the civil but not in the church or even in the civil to be called as marriage as well. Ayan.
But can I just say wait?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. Can I just say that when we're
Mhm.
talking about marriage, it's
Mhm.
not just generally about the marriage inside the church.
Absolutely. I'm
Yes.
That's what I'm
Mm-mm.
telling you. Same
Yes,
sex
that's
union can be done in the civil.
yeah. So,
So,
so like
mhm,
same-sex marriage and same-sex
mhm,
union is just the same thing po,
mhm.
but it's just different terms of words in general. But yeah, the
Yeah,
thought is actually the same.
I think
yeah, I
the
definitely
not
understand that. I
legal.
definitely understand what you are trying to say. I would rather
Mm-hmm.
have to call it same-sex union instead of marriage because marriage has so much more meaning than
So, ano
union.
po? So you
Mhm.
actually agree with the thought of same-sex marriage, but you just want to change the terminology to union.
That's what we are using
Okay, as a
actually, same-sex
moderator of this
union.
debate,
Mhm.
Okay, okay,
Ako
go.
na rin sana pumalit na eh.
Diba? All right,
well, I
let's
feel
move
like
on.
we
Let's move
still have
on
the
to the next
benefit of
box.
being able to respect the same. Mahaba na.
Let's move. This topic was really following me from day one, so let's go to the next box.
Hindi,
Yeah.
even when we
All right.
head-to-head challenge din po kasi, that
Mm-mm.
was also the topic. And the
Given to
debate,
her.
yes, it was given to
Yeah.
her. And the debate
But
was,
really,
um,
to be like casually talking about it, I really see nothing wrong about it.
Yes, of
Maybe it's just
course.
the
Mhm.
terminology. The terminology
Exactly.
just is being the misinterpretation to a lot of people that when we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about marriage, it's about the church only and we're that's regarding the values, but that's not what
Mm-mm.
we're talking about same-sex marriage. If
Mm-hmm.
we did delve into the topic, we will know how this is very crucial and important in our generation. So if we're just talking about the terminology of terms, we can adjust that to other terms. But when we're talking about
it's not
same-sex
just the
marriage in
term,
general,
the terminology. It's not just about the terminology. It's about the legalities then. If you're
yeah, it's
talking
about
about
the
the
Oh,
legalities,
legalities.
like the couple, like the couple
Mm,
who cannot be able to take out his partner
that's
and
right.
yeah,
for proper burial, they can do it legally when it comes
Legally.
to
Mm,
when we're talking about same-sex union. So it's not all
that's right.
about the
Mm.
terminology;
It
it's
doesn't
about
only
the
it it
technicalities.
actually doesn't only
Yes.
apply to burial or something like that, but it also
Mm-mm.
applies to assets and liability. If you're
yes,
Mm.
That's right. That's basically
um,
the
if
point. So it's not only
yeah, if you two
about
are also
when you
if
are
you two have been if you two have been having a relationship or have been living in the same roof and you have
mm-mm,
invested to that together, you
mm-hmm,
need to have the right for that, both of you,
mm-hmm.
both parties.
Mm.
So
plus
Because
that's
the
we're
just
main
not
what we
point
are.
of this
That's
actually,
what
the main point of
that's actually the point of this
mm-mm,
of this
practically
debate.
the main yeah, because practically the main point of this clamor is protection for the couple. So with
yes,
same-sex
Yeah,
union, yeah, you'll definitely have the the right for each other.
We can have the
Yeah,
conversation of our
meron kayong
culture by
conjugal.
actually
Yes,
respecting
so
also the
yes.
mhm,
It's
LGBTQIA plus community.
mm-mm.
So,
that's right.
ayan po mga kaibigan, tayo po ay nakasusubat.
Sinusundan po talaga
okay,
ako
Miss
ng topic na
Reporter.
ito. Maaari na po
Okay.
siguro tayong sumunod.
All right, sige. Uh, let's move on. Kyle,
Number
what's your
4.
number four? Textbooks or ebooks?
Ang duga talaga ni Lord.
Well, na-sense na ni Lord na alam niya love ko ang libro. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going for textbooks, really. Just the
Uh-uh.
smell of buying new books is something that really excites me to read it. I really feel
Diba?
like Yes, I'm
Mhm.
addicted to the smell of new books. So, like opening the pages,
Oo. Iba kasi
paper,
yung scent, iba kasi yung scent ng book, especially
and you
kahit yung luma.
feel, mm-mm. You, yung luma, yes, I also have those books na
Oo.
parang, kahit na parang nakita mo na luma na siya, na hindi mo
Mm.
alam kung, it's just the feel of really being able to read a book that
Mm.
is, like physically na hold mo siya and you're able to sense it. And I feel
Mm.
like being able to use an ebook, I I have problems na din po kasi with my eyesight a bit.
Oo.
So I'm having a bit of migraines na kapag masyado masyado na akong na prolong na nakatutok sa
Pagbabasa.
screen. Yes.
Mm.
So I feel like textbook is also like a way for me to, alam mo yon, I really love reading po. And I
Mm.
really have a lot of books here. So I'm going for textbooks than
Mm.
ebooks. And
Yeah, iba
also,
kasi.
meron din tayong mga ebooks na binibili kasi. And parang I feel like it's more worth it if you're going to buy an actual book or an actual textbook.
That's right. Ako rin mas gusto ko ng textbooks. Ang sarap ng amoy,
And
tsaka
actually,
yung ano,
Kala ko ako
there's
lang.
really something
Kala
in
ko
textbook
yun.
that
tsaka yung
can never
nakikita
be
mo kasi,
replaced.
kapag ka kasi na tumatagal siya, nakikita mo yung kunyari, yung pag-iiba ng kulay. Doon ako
Mm.
natutuwa.
Yung sa
Doon ako nat
parang
Oo.
pa-antique.
'Di ba? Oo, 'di ba? Gusto ko yung gano'n. Anyways, alright.
Something light.
Mhm.
Something
Something
like
light. O sige, ikaw naman. Unahin muna natin si ano ngayon, si Shannon.
Lord,
Ay,
Lord.
no.
So tapos na ang 1, 2, 4 Shannon. So we have 3, 5, 6.
6.
Number
6.
6.
Lord.
Sigurado ka na dyan.
Apa.
Deal or no deal?
Deal, deal, deal. One,
Deal
first
or
and last. First and
for
last,
1
mom.
million.
Oh,
Heels or
oh, yes.
sneakers?
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I love you, Lord. Something light. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I love heels.
Mm. Sa
Really.
tangkad mong yan.
Heels. Since I was young, it was really my mom's issue with me. Like, dun lang tayo pupunta, naka-heels ka pa. Ang tangkad-tangkad mo, naka-heels ka pa. It's always like that. But I really love the power that the heels give me. Like, it gave me a boost of confidence.
Mm.
Heels is power.
That's right. Kung
And then
pwede
when
lang
you
Just
hear
kasi,
the
like
click,
power is
Tapos sabihin
power.
mo sa head-to-head.
kung pwede, saan?
yeah,
Kung
shower
pwede,
is power the last time, but now heels is power. Because when you hear the click of your heels on the floor, like it sounds so like a lady boss type, and I love
oo,
that.
alright. At
Something
saka
like thank you, Lord.
queenly, kama elegance, ganyan.
Yes.
Mm. 'Di ba?
Mm.
Alright, so Andrea,
Yeah. What else pa po ba yung hindi napipili?
3 and 5, 3 and 5.
Okay, let's go for 5.
Ayaw nila ng tree.
Annulment or divorce?
Ayan.
Annulment or divorce? Actually, I don't see any difference, almost difference from these two. The only difference is that the annulment has a longer process than the divorce, and the cheaper one
Mm.
actually. The divorce is actually a cheaper one for us. But if I were to be asked about this issue, actually, if we already have the annulment,
Mhm.
I think divorce should also be implemented.
Okay.
Um, um, and this, there's a lot of broken families, and I think that
Mhm.
the children suffers a lot from their parents separate. So I think we have to legalize a lot, to legalize such things that actually parang meant kasi naaapektuhan na yung mga bata if
Oo.
if the marriage or the relationship is already gone. So if they will stay both stay in the house, I think they have to um take the legal advice, and then um the co-parenting should be implemented na rin in sa family. if that would be ano. Kasi I really don't see anything any difference with this sa totoo lang. Parang the
Okay.
process lang for me.
Okay.
Doon din
So,
for me po kasi doon din kasi
mm,
mauuwi.
mm.
So
But
I don't like choosing.
but I want to give you some enlightenment between the difference of annulment and divorce. So I just want to take this opportunity as well. So there's a big difference between annulment and divorce. When we speak of annulment, we are basically speaking of, by definition, it's nullification of marriage. Meaning from the very beginning, there was
Moment.
no marriage from the very beginning. So that's basically what annulment is trying to
Ay,
tell
yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah, I forgot. I
Mhm,
forgot that. Yeah.
mhm. So that's basically what annulment is trying to tell us. So when we are annulling marriage, so we are invalidating that marriage, that there was nothing that ever happened from the beginning. Whereas in divorce, um, divorce is being defined as dissolution of marriage. So when we speak of dissolution, it does not really erase everything.
Yeah.
It does not erase everything. Think of dissolving a salt in water. So you are dissolving the salt in water, but you can still
So,
see,
still
yeah, but
there.
there's still a salt in it, right? So that's in
Yeah.
the divorce, basically, that the marriage was not totally removed, but allowing the the separated
Two parties.
couple to
There's
get
still
married.
acknowledging the
Yeah.
marriage.
Yes. So it's just allowing them to remarried, 'di ba? However, that somehow case as well, or that situation could basically lead the couples to polygamy. Alam mo 'yun? Kasi meron ka pang marriage, meron ka pang meron ka pang bond 'di ba? So you can
Parang there's
supposedly,
still a connection
ideally,
between the two parties.
that's right. Ideally, you cannot supposedly be getting married, 'di ba? Because you are still married. You the marriage is still there, 'di ba? Parang ano 'yan, parang legal marriage na meron tayo sa atin, 'di ba? Legal separation pala. Legal marriage, parang legal separation sa atin. However, in legal separation in the Philippines, legally separated, not living in the same roof, ganyan, but they cannot get married. Now, in the divorce, you are legally separated that you can get married. Yun. So
So,
yun
ano
yung
bang mas
difference.
prefer nyo?
I go for annulment. I won't really advise divorce because, well, just like what I have mentioned, it's basically leading us to polygamy, 'di ba? So parang hello, ang dami na nating kasalanan sa mundo, 'di ba? Tapos magdadagdag pa tayo
And
through
I feel like po under extreme circumstances like domestic violence, I would really choose annulment na lang po.
Mhm. Kasi eto kasi yan sinasabi lang kasi na mahatagal ang process ng annulment. Depende kasi yun sa sa cooperation ng couple. If the couple really wants to go
Get another.
to annul their marriage, ganyan, they cooperate, 'di ba? They should cooperate, 'di ba? Kasi kapag hindi makikipag-cooperate yan, mahihirapan. Yun yung mahirap sa
That's when it
annulment.
becomes hard.
Kailangan kasi pareho silang nagko-cooperate. Yun lang yun.
Mm-mm.
'Di ba? Ang hirap. 'Di ba? Yun ang
Nakakadilim.
hindi kasi yun kasi ang hindi ine-explain kung bakit may divorce. So, kakainis Doon ako naiinis Joke.
Ayun na.
At least, we already have an idea for that matter.
Okay, so let's move on. The last number is 3.
Left with no choice.
No choice. You're left with no choice, 'di ba? Lagi ko naririnig 'yan sa head-to-head. I left with no choice. Ay,
Huh?
bakit 'yon?
Like,
Sandali.
this is yun pa rin. formally
Ayun,
out of the house.
outdoors.
Outdoors and indoors.
Maglikot kasi yung mouse.
Kala ko
Outdoors or
bonus na eh,
indoors?
parang exam. Pareho yung, pag pareho yung question, bonus na. Bonus point.
True. Mm-mm.
So, well, if well, I'm not really an extroverted person. I'm more of an ambivert, which is right in the middle, but dominant in being an introverted person. A lot of the time, I'm choosing to really, just have self reflection, being inside the house, and being able to read. And I'm not really going to be able to properly read a book if I'm going to be, going outdoors with a lot of people like roaming around. I really don't feel like I can understand the book that I'm reading if I'm going outside. I'm such a nerd. So I'm just staying indoors. I'm choosing indoors po talaga.
So indoors talaga. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Lara. Ayun, nag-agree si Lara sa usapan natin. 100% sabi niya. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lara. Ayan. Laura Markey. Alright, so, oh my God,
Ang
that's 2
swerte
hours.
nila bumunot ng topic.
Ha? Ano yon?
Ang
Tapos
swerte po ni
na.
Ate Kyle bumunot ng topic.
That's right, di ba? So there you go, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for this long 2 hours, almost 3 hours, actually. And I'm really
Thank
very much honored and grateful to have you three ladies with
Me
me
too.
tonight. So for gracing this episode. And there you go. Just like what I have mentioned, just like what I have promised to you. You may now thank everyone, or you would like, if you would like to give message to anyone, then so this is the time. So who would like to start first? Si ate. Go ate. Nagganyan si
Okay.
ate.
Panganay naman.
Ever-raise na siya ng
Panganay
hand.
naman. Hindi kasi. I just want to thank everyone, each and everyone, especially the people that support me here, that come here from Morong, especially the
Mhm,
church. Nakaka-overwhelm yung support
mhm,
from church, from municipal hall, from the
mhm.
people around me, from my friends and
Ang
family.
daya,
I just
oh.
want to thank you all. Sobrang nakaka-overwhelm support na binibigay nila. And also my
Mm-mm.
friends outside. And please, please, please keep on supporting me, your candidate number 24 on Miss World Philippines 2021. The coronation will be on August 8th. Sana.
Mm-mm.
Let's pray for that. Let's pray for that to happen. And yeah, let's just all enjoy the whole. Thank you po. And thank you, Sir
Francois.
Francois.
Mhm.
Francois.
Yeah, for having us
Very
tonight.
friends. Wait lang, bago po kami
And thank you rin po.
what's that really your real name?
Ha?
Is it?
Ano
Oo,
yun?
Is it your real name?
Wow.
Pag-usapan natin sa
Francois.
backstage
Very
mamaya.
French.
No?
gay. Ako yan.
Pag-usapan natin mamaya backstage. Ano ba? O,
Okay.
ikaw muna. Oo.
Sige ba? Ako ba?
Kyle, go.
Okay, first of all, of course, I would like to thank our Poscro Nation family, Princess
Mhm.
Joey Concasa and Tanayo, Tonette, all of you guys. You guys are really equally loved and we equally appreciate it. Thank you for staying up late ulit and for making this chikahan more fun because of the comment section. And also, of course, thank you then to Tito Dave and Tito Edwin for always supporting us, for being stage parents.
Kitty, I forgot. Sorry. Thank you po sa House of Crowns for treating
May
us
nag-work
like
po kasi dyan.
not just your candidate, but also your family as well. And we treat you as our second family and then our tatay. Thank you po. We love you. Yan.
We love you, we love you. And syempre sa mama ko na nasa labas, nasa sala, hindi ko alam baka nakatulog na siya. Pero she's watching. Thank you, Mama, for being a stage mom. I really appreciate you. And also, syempre, sa lahat na din po na sumusuporta from Pampanga, Kabalen, Dakala, salamat po sa kayungan. Kapampangan po ako, sorry po. Pero anyways, thank you so much po to everyone who's supporting us, me and the girls, my sisters. Thank you so much for staying up and for supporting this live also. It was very fun. And I hope you guys are also going to wait for us for the coronation night until the coronation night because the August 8th seems to be still sensitive. You're still gonna have to watch out for that. But anyways, please guys stay safe and get vaccinated.
All right. Yes, Shannon. Oh, anything you would like to promote?
Ako na po.
Anything I would like to me. Yes,
Yes.
of course. Net 25. Turn on your channels to Net 25. Yeah,
Mm.
baka yan, randomly niyo ako makikita doon. Nagpa-pop up na lang bigla yung mukha ko. But anyways, also to my Net 25 and Eagle Broadcasting Corporation family. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. They're always there all throughout the way and always being updated about everything that is happening. Thank you guys so much to my Net 25 family and also to Ate Emma Tiglao, who's also from my Net 25 family. Thank you so much po for the support.
Yes, Shannon.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Sir Francois, for having us today and for giving us the chance for to voice out their thoughts and have this chikahan, very fun chikahan. Thank you po. And of course, thank you to the House of Crowns family, to Dave, to Edwin, and to all of the people behind this scam that molded us girls to be like this. To my family who gives the never-ending support from Manzano family, Sagana family, or even my relatives from Mindanao. And of course, my friends, thank you so much for your never ending jolliness and support to make me smile. Who else? Well, thank you so much for the Miss World organization for being very hands on us from day one. It's like the best organization that we know well. And last but not the least, thank you so much to all of our supporters and of course the post coronation family. They're like the best support system, and they're like the second circle of friends that we love so much, like Ate Sensen, Ate Tonet, Joey, and um, everyone. I appreciate all of them. Like the first time that I met them, they're like the most supportive people in the pageant world, and they're like uplifting queens so much, which we need, especially in amidst this time. Oh, charot. Iyak na kami, charot. Thank you so much po to everyone who stayed up this late for a 3-hour interview, and I hope you guys enjoyed and get to know the House of Crowns Queens more.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Post Coronations, for staying up this late.
Mm.
Only 3 hours na, guys. And yeah. And yeah, thank you so much, girls or ladies, for this opportunity as well. I'm really, just like what I've mentioned, I'm really very much honored and grateful for gracing our page and of course our channel for this is actually very special because I used to only have one guest every night or maximum of two, and this time I have you three. Thank you so much to Tito Dave for allowing you guys to be with me tonight. Tito Dave, anong masasabi mo?
Ayun na.
Dave?
Tito Dave, ano masasabi mo? Ang daya mo, Tito Dave, may sinabi ka nun kay
Ayun na.
nag-message ka nun kay Von.
Tito Dave? Tito Dave, pwede naman ako pumunta dyan para ibigay sa'yo yung camera.
Ayan, very proud daw siya. Ayan. Thank you so much, Tito Dave and Tito Edwin. Thank you talaga. Alam nyo, Tito Dave and Tito Edwin, I can't really thank you enough for your kindness and generosity. Kayo palagi yung yung nilalapitan ko.
Oh.
Thank you really. They're very thoughtful. Ayan si Tito Dave. Tito Dave, anong masasabi mo dito? Message
I'm
mo
very
sa
proud of my girls.
Mm.
Thank you,
Hi,
Francois,
Tito.
for having us.
As always, Tito. Alam mo naman yan.
Salamat. Mahal na mahal mo ang House of Crowns. Thank
Of
you.
course. course, di ba? Of course.
Ah. Tsaka
Alam mo
ano,
yun.
sa mga fans po, keep on praying sa mga girls po namin. Malapit na ang
Absolutely.
coronation night.
Dasal lang.
Matutuloy ba?
Abangan.
Yes.
Positive lang,
Abangan.
positive lang, positive.
Ayun, wag lang tayo mag-positive sa ano.
Wag lang
Wag
COVID
lang
at saka
COVID.
Delta.
Yes.
Obsessed.
Ayun.
Stay
Thank you
safe,
so much.
Francois. Thank you so much.
Thank
Likewise,
you po. Thank
Tito.
you, everyone.
Oy, don't lag out yet ha, kasi magfi-feedbacking pa tayo.
Sige.
All right.
Thanks,
So,
Francois. God bless.
God bless you, Tito.
Hi,
Extend
Tito.
my regards to
Oy,
to Tito
girls.
Edwin po.
Galingan nyo at kung hindi matuloy yung ECQs, ulit tayo ng training. May training. Uwi na, uwi na dito, Andrea.
Dito naghihintay nga lang ako ng announcement. Pero uwi ako next.
All right. So, to all our viewers, thank you so much for staying up once again. And thank you guys for being very interactive again. I hope to see you tomorrow night once again at 8 p.m. Same time, same channel, same page. Diba? And if you
Like,
have not
pageant na.
if you have not yet subscribed yet on our YouTube channel, please do subscribe and click the bell notification. And also, please do follow and like our Facebook page for more pageant updates. Also, we also have our Instagram and TikTok. So, hindi nga lang masyadong active sa Instagram at TikTok. So, however, I am trying my very best.
No, Sir Francois.
We are trying our very best. So, yes, guys, I hope to see you once again tomorrow. And good night, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good day, and God bless you all.
Salamat
Thank
sa
you, everyone.
patuloy.